things have been going so poorly, and the noise, what little noise, is centered around him.
Yeah, it's interesting to me. Like I noticed him in more of a positive sense. I don't think that I, wrote him at the top of my notebook with hearts around him that he had the best game ever. But it could be just something about getting out of Toronto and being on the road and being focused on this. And, I'm not making excuses for him, but it looked refreshed. We'll see how that carries into tonight. I guess it depends. I had a coach kind of like Berube. I had a really stone cold killer coach. Like my college coach was Secret Service, U.S. military, went to West Point, very much Berube face, very intense. And I remember a couple times I had pulled aside and a chat from him where he just tells you they got belief in you, confidence in you. And sometimes it is a different change to see that side from your coach who's kind of like a Berube face where you don't get a lot of that. So I could see it working. Clearly something gave him a little bit of a pep in his step. So can you continue that? Can you move that forward and put 2 or 3 games together? Because that's where he's going to really believe in himself. If he's got 2 or 3 games under his belt before this Four Nations face-off, where he gets a break, where he goes home and he's feeling like a good vibe, you don't want to be going home with the bad taste in your mouth that you got the worst plus minus in the entire NHL for goalies, that everybody's talking about you in trade boards. He needs to put together 2 really good games here before the Four Nations face-off, and I think he'll be fine. But it's just been a lot of piling on, and I know it weighs on you a lot as a player.
The power play minutes probably help, no?
And that's what I think part of it. They gave him an opportunity on PP1 instead of throwing a fifth forward in there. We'll see tonight because Marner's back
to it, right?
So, but he got that chance. No Marner in. They put him on PP1, and I don't know. Sometimes you just need a bone, like what Domi's getting.
Yeah,
go play in the top line.
You need the opportunity to play in advantageous minutes, and
but you also get paid a lot of money to be needing a bone.
That is true. I don't think he's necessarily a plus on the power play. I think he lacks key power play skills as a defenseman.
It's not a perfect fit.
He doesn't walk the line very well. His shot's not very good. I don't you watch Evan Bouchard, and we watched Evan Bouchard the other night. It's that's a different ball game than what Morgan Riley presents. And I'm sure we're going to see a 5-forward power play tonight. I'm not sure we're going to see in the playoffs because I feel like it's a little bit risky. But I think if Morgan Riley puts himself in the position at least where he's getting power play minutes over Oliver Ekman-Larsson, it's probably a good thing.
Definitely.
At least from a confidence standpoint.
Definitely.
He will play, however, with Oliver Ekman-Larsson tonight as I give you the Maple Leafs lines. That is technically, I guess, the top pair because Morgan Riley belongs on the top pair. But Jake McCabe and Chris Tanev will form the shutdown line with Benoit and Myers as the bottom pair. Up front, Nyes, Matthews, and Domi. As discussed, Domi stays up despite Marner coming back in. Marner will play with Tavares and Nylander. The third line will be Holmberg, Robertson, and McMahon. Holmberg centering that line. And then Pacioretty bumped down to the fourth line playing with David Kampf and Steven Lorentz tonight. So no Ryan Reeves in Seattle. Joe Stolarz, by the way, making the start.
Yeah, Stolarz making his first start in quite a while since December 12th. So I don't know if I anticipate rest or a little bit of both. But that's a long time to not play in an NHL game. He didn't go play in any AHL games. He's been in some practices, and it's a bit of a difference. Even though it is a Kraken who are not world beaters, there might be a little bit of rust for the first period, at least I anticipate with Stolarz, but totally okay with it.
Yeah, let's do my key to victory.
Oh.
Because I think it ties into that.
The key to victory is brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Get home ice advantage on every drive with the new Civic Hybrid, proudly made in Ontario, available now at your Ontario Honda dealers.
Yeah, keep the puck away from Anthony Stolarz early.
Great.
You want to build, right? You want the opportunity to build into the game. If they're absolutely getting blitzkrieged early on in the game, I don't think that's necessarily positive for a goaltender returning after a 2-month absence. So sharp defensive effort early on, making simple plays in the defensive zone, stacking shifts and getting that offensive pressure, just making sure that Anthony Stolarz can ease himself into the game.
Yes, let him ease in gently into the flow of a 10 p.m. start. Just rock everyone to sleep in a cradle.
Perfect.
That's how we're starting to feel. All right, we'll take a quick break. On the other side, I'll give you my players to watch, because it's 10 p.m. Feeling generous. So we'll take a quick break. We'll get you set for Puck Drop, Leafs, and Kraken. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
muted. What's up, insiders? How we doing tonight? All right, we have got things set up here in the chat. Let me make sure the audio's finally working. Yes, it is working. It is working well. All right, I've got to get that sub counter fixed. Just switched over from my Sons of a Pitch Soccer Central live stream. It was quite the stream there. Lots of good gameplay. True Killer on Discord and X. True, my man over in Leicester, England. Cheers, True. Thanks for hanging out with us, my man. And thanks for helping me create this same type of environment that we're doing here on Toronto Sports Insider for all of the Toronto sports teams. Most notoriably, I can't even speak right now. It's too late for that, and I still have to go make my coffee. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Lisa, Dagger Card, Sick Whips, Kevin O'Connor, Miss V, Carmen, Kevin Oakes. What's up, Kevin? There's True, my man, SOP True. We just been switching. I mean, I literally just finished off the stream over here with these crazy. I still have a PlayStation running, and I need to fix these things. We're running new stream, new graphics all over the place here tonight on Toronto Sports Insider. Thank you so much. There's that stupid video I just put it on. There we go. Now it's the wrong one. Just chatting. There it is, guys. Technical difficulties. Okay, this is what we do. And I'm also setting up a new webcam here as well. So cheers, insiders. Thank you for hanging out with us. Go Leafs, go. Let's get 2 points tonight. Let's go 3 out of 3 on this West Coast trip and get ready for that 4th game against the Canucks. Go Leafs, go. Don't forget, hit the like button down below. Hit that thumbs up button. I'm looking at the wrong camera again. See? Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on the bell if you're new here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Cheers.
NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stella. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations, Team Canada, face-off, associate GM, Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
We're talking about 2 of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Avalanche General Manager Chris McFarland. What went in to maybe change that duo in goal?
With the work of our scout, Wedgwood's experience, he was a veteran guy, he's been through the grind. We were very bullish on McKenzie, and when the opportunity came to add him, we just felt it was the right move for us, long term.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Devils head coach Sheldon Keefe, you decided to jump right back into it.
New Jersey Devils reached out really within an hour or so of the news coming out of me being let go. And the more I got to know Tom and his vision for the team and seeing the situation, it was a tremendous opportunity that I couldn't let pass by.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. This is Molson Leafs Hockey. About to bring the wall right now. Sound the alarm. On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. It's Leafs and Kraken on the late night dial here. Ailish Forfar, Justin Cuthbert. Puck drop is only 6 minutes away, folks. You've almost made it.
And reason to stay up because a couple important developments for the Maple Leafs in this game. The return of Anthony Stolarz.
Yes.
That's worth losing some sleep over, right?
And the return of Mitch Marner.
After a very short
people are hopping out of bed
for Mitch Marner. But yeah, Mitch Marner playing on a second line without Austin Matthews, playing with John Tavares and William Nylander tonight on a stacked second line for the Maple Leafs. But I feel like the Stolarz thing after 2 months off is pretty crucial. Like, it are things that could affect what happens at the most important times. Stolarz getting back in the crease, playing well, creating that competition again. This is no small thing for the Maple Leafs. So a huge development tonight and an opportunity to beat up on a bottom 5 team in the NHL against the Seattle Kraken tonight on the Pacific Northwest.
Okay, we've only got a minute and a half, so tee me up for my players to watch.
Your player to watch is presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit connexontario.ca. Who are we betting on tonight?
I got a couple for you. How about Anthony Stolarz, who we just chatted about? So depending on your confidence level in his rust versus rest dialogue, a shutout tonight is 11-1. For the Kraken to score under 1.5 goals, so 1 plus 290, and under 2.5 plus 105. So I think the team will play pretty strong defensively in front of Anthony Stolarz. He's been out for a long time, as we mentioned. We didn't get any games in. Like, this is a big spot for them. I think they will try to keep it easier for Anthony Stolarz. So those are your Stolarz props. I'll give you Mitch Marner as well, making his return to the lineup, plus 210 for a goal. And Jared McCann, the Leaf that never really was, revenge angle, plus 300. What do you think?
Yeah, just about the only thing that worked for their expansion draft was the guy they got from the Leafs who never played for the Leafs, Jared McCann, who continues to put up points against
them. He does pretty well.
I think that's a great pick, Jared McCann for Seattle. If I'm banking on anyway, it would be him.
And it's Tanev versus Tanev tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have that parlay for you. Just do it. Go look at Bet365, and I don't have it for you, but you could Tanev it up.
It better pay pretty good. Because
I think so. Like, I'm predicting if you pit both Tanevs to score, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, it would be. It probably wouldn't be as much as it should be. We'll say that.
All right, late night game on the West Coast here. We've got Puck Drop on the other side with Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The biggest football event of the year is upon us, and VEASAN's got you covered before, during, and after the big game. We're pulling out all the stops with contributions from every one of your favorite VEASAN hosts and experts. They'll be giving out their best bets for the game, as well as breaking down the lines and discussing their favorite props that they'll be sweating throughout. Tune into SiriusXM Channel 158 at 8 a.m. Eastern to catch all the action, and let the Sports Betting Network take you through the biggest Sunday in sports betting.
Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA, Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us, and I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stelling. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations, Team Canada, face-off, associate GM, Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
We're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty...
What's up, insiders? All right, yes, that's right. Forget looking at that camera. I haven't set that up yet. I just got the G6 logo into the sub-counter box there. Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Go Leafs, go! Let's get after it tonight, Maple Leafs fans. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. It's a late night. Get the coffee going. Get it ready. Have a cocktail if you want. Drink some water. Get hydrated. So if you got to wake up early in the morning, let's enjoy the game together. Chatting it up. Cheering on our buds. Who do you think is going to hit the first goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs? I have a feeling we're getting on the board first. Knock on wood. We'll see. But please let me know in the chat. Over there. There it is. Right there. Right there. Camera cuts off, Mike. There it is. Who's scoring the first goal for the Leafs? I'm going Mitch Marner. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scored the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate. Weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Radio Network.
Leafs travel to Seattle to tangle with the Kraken. And the Leafs on a great road trip so far, although all of the victories have been in the province of Alberta. And the Hermits of the hexagonal hideouts are brought to you by Molson. Molson, everyone in. Great news for the Maple Leafs. Anthony Stolarz is back. He is 9-5-2 this year with a 2.15 goals against average and a .927 save percentage, which would be the best in the National Hockey League if he had played a few more games to make it creditable, right? So that is an important aspect of it. It's also going to see the return of Mitch Marner to the lineup. This lineup tonight might be the lineup that everyone would wish for to start the Stanley Cup playoffs if, in fact, nothing happens at the trade deadline. They are about as healthy as they have been all season long.
Don't jinx it.
Well, I'm not. I'm just saying.
We'll see if you just say and
5 guys get carted off in the first shift. It'll be something else. Kraken to the left, Leafs to the right. We're underway and glad you're along with us. It's pushed in on the right wing side, and a wrist shot taken by Bjorkstrand was blocked before it reached the net. It comes back to the point. Larson a drive, and that was off the mark wide as it may have hit the goalpost. Larson gets it into the slot again and sends it to the side of the net. Puck comes around the boards. The Leafs haven't had their stick on the puck as yet. Centering pass deflects into the corner. Tanev trying to play it up the boards, had it blocked. Turnover in the slot, and now the Leafs finally do get it out as Domi got it to center ice. Leafs getting a change in, and so are the Kraken as they play it back into their own zone. Joey Decord gets the call in goal for Seattle. He's 18-13-3, 2.49 goals against average. Down to our left on the screen as it's played in over the line and punched back out at center ice. And now Nylander in on the right side to Tavares. Tavares turns, looks for a man, sends it towards the net. It's wide. Nylander comes out with it. Willie turns back along the near boards. Tried to cycle it back to Marner. Marner works off the left wing side. Back into the corner for Nylander. Chipping it along, looking for Morgan Riley, who was down deep. But now the Kraken have intercepted, and they get it out at center ice. Played in deep. Deflected by Stolarz into the near corner. Tavares can't get it out. It comes back to the point. Winding up with it, Montour. That stopped a scramble in front, and it's knocked into the corner, and a penalty coming here to the Maple Leafs. It looks like it's a hook that has been called. The referees tonight are Kyle Raymond and Carter Sandla, and Jonathan Deshaw and Brendan Garlitz are the linesmen.
Well, not a great start for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it's going to be a hooking penalty that's going to put them short-handed. Of course, they gave up 2 power play goals to the Calgary Flames 2 nights ago, but both of those came 5-on-3.
And it's Riley who is in the box. So the Maple Leafs are a man short. Penalty kill is brought to you by Ontario Honda dealers. Get home ice advantage on every drive with the new Civic Hybrid. Proudly made in Ontario. Available now at your Ontario Honda dealers. Draw scrummed in the Toronto zone. Comes back to the point. The Kraken keep it in with a shot that went wide of the net off a stick by Bjorkstrand. Comes back to the point once more. Looking in front of the net. It comes back to the blue line for Montour. Montour holds. Works to the right wing side. A shot off the shoulder of Stolarz. The puck in the near corner. The battle ensues there with David Kampf. Tanev got it freed up, and he gets it out and down the ice. That is a recording.
Seattle 25th in the league on the power play, but just 4 for 24 in their last 11 games.
Leafs are 15th in penalty kill in the league. Brought to center ice by Bjorkstrand. Played in off the wing. Intercepted by Toronto. Quickly set out and down the ice. Minute 12 to go in the man advantage. Decord leaving it back at the net for Montour. Kraken in their dark jersey with the teal numbers. Leafs in their road whites with blue. Puck along the boards. Kraken are able to come away with it. Kakko trying to get it in front. Intercepted by the Leafs. Marner takes his time, gets a look off the near boards, and just lays it into Seattle territory. Kraken bringing it out again. Power play with 38 seconds left in it. Played in on the left wing. A drive from an angle. Blockered away there by Stolarz. It's gone up into the screen. And a face-off will come in the Toronto zone with about 22 seconds, I think, left in the power play.
Very scary stat, the difference between these two teams. Seattle Kraken defensemen have combined for 32 goals.
Wow.
The Leafs have 11 from their blue line. Two defensemen, Montour and Vince Dunn, have 10 each.
There's a chance now for McCann, and drilled into the chest of Stolarz, who has looked very sharp here in the early going.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was Craig Berube's thought. Let's take some penalties, get him into the game early, but Stolarz has looked sharp. You're right. 3 shots on goal officially for the Seattle Kraken.
He was injured December the 12th against Anaheim. They said that there was a pebble in his knee. Well, that was the description. For the love of God, I don't know how you get a pebble in your knee, but that's for a doctor to explain.
Dr. Flintstone?
Yes. Back to the point it goes. Walking the line with it is Vince Dunn. Near side, holding. Still with it was McCann. Didn't shoot it. Now he does, and he sent it wide. Gobbled up by Kakko on the far side. Power play with 6 seconds left in it. Leafs starting slowly. It comes to McCann into the slot. Back to the point. Back to McCann. Cross-ice pass, and the shot coming. And it went wide of the net, and the power play is over as another shot is directed wide by Stolarz. Shots 3 in that span, and the Leafs come up with the puck, and now Matthews starts out of his own end, then circles back to allow teammates to change. Jake McCabe looking up ice. Got it into the neutral zone and down into the Kraken's end of the rink. Pontus Holmberg couldn't come up with it. The Kraken have played it high to center ice, tracking it down Riley. He gets it out over the line, and that forced the Kraken to have to tag up. OEL gets it off to Morgan Riley. Played down into the zone. And the Kraken goaltender out to play it off the glass up on the left wing, but that's cut off there by Pontus Holmberg. He gets it down into the corner. McCann couldn't come up with it. Holmberg is hooked to the ice. Nick Robertson was in the other corner. The play goes behind the net. The Leaf player gets hooked. Robertson turns and screams at the referee at center ice, and the guy who's 5 feet away from it then puts up his arm.
And you know what? I don't think this is a penalty.
Well, Nick Robertson did.
Well, watch the replay. To me, Holmberg loses an edge, and I think that's why.
Yeah, well, Nick Robertson plays in the National Hockey League. He knows stuff.
I think the guy that watched Holmberg fall knows stuff, too. Let's put it this way. If it was the other way around, our conversation would be very different.
All right, fine. Anyway, the Leafs are on the power play. Here's Nylander to Matthews. Marner on the right side. Works to the half board, gets it back to Matthews. Leafs got 5 forwards on the ice. Marner with it again, now top of the circles. It goes to Nylander. No shot on goal yet. Here's Tavares getting it back. Nylander, left wing side, Matthews. Here comes the shot. Oh, and they had Decord swimming out there, and it was deflected just wide. Matthews again, shooting. Oh, good toe save by Decord. And the rebound to Willie. Back it comes to Matthews again. To Marner, wrist shot coming. That deflected wide, and the Kraken will get it out and down the ice.
Boy, Austin Matthews looked like he had the empty net almost, didn't he?
Did he? Brought to center by Nylander. Across the line for Nyes. Tavares helps out back to the blue line. Bounced over the stick and forces Marner back into neutral ice. Now Matthews right back in again. Tavares sending it around the boards to the far side. Intercepted and shot down the ice by the Kraken defenders. 50 seconds left in the power play. Second unit coming over the boards. Morgan Rielly will bring it out. Got it up on the wing for Pacioretty. Brought back by Domi to the left wing side from McMahon into the corner. Domi centers. Unable to get his stick down, though, was Pacioretty, who was tied up. Back on the far side it goes to Rielly at the point. He fanned on a pass. Still has it. Goes D to D. Gets it back again. Left it off for Domi. Closing in. Domi with a shot. That's why he gets the rebound. And that might have gone off to Cord's right pad just at the side of the net. Played around the wall with 14 seconds left. Second unit getting some work done here. Shot fells one of the Seattle Kraken as Larson goes down in a heap. He's back on his skates. Back to the point it goes to Rielly. Rielly on the far side. A one-timer coming. Deflected wide. Back to Morgan Rielly. Rielly a cross-ice pass looking for Pacioretty. Didn't work. Power play is over, but the Leafs are pressing again. Centering pass. Shot by Pacioretty is swallowed up by Joey Decord. Second unit probably looked better than the first.
Yeah, a little more urgency getting the puck to the net. Max Pacioretty with a pretty good opportunity that Decord swallows up.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Sirius XM's Super Bowl 59 radio brings you closer to the biggest event of the year as the stars of the sports and entertainment worlds converge in New Orleans. We'll be covering it all.
Superstar Kenny Chesney, Patrick Mahomes.
And it's the only place to hear the game plus the Apple Music halftime show starring Kendrick Lamar.
Get the whole world talking King Coulter.
Your ticket to everything happening in the Big Easy is Super Bowl 59 radio, channel 106 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91. It's Radio Network.
Leafs nothing and the Kraken nothing.
At least the Leafs finally got to handle the puck, right? Opening shift, they were back on their heels, took the first penalty of the game, and then get a bit of a gift call on a power play, and he started moving it around a bit. As we see, it looks like the Tavares line with Nylander and Marner coming out. Now, we also discussed this. Anytime there's kind of a shift in the top six, usually the first question is, how long does it last?
Exactly.
Before Marner and Matthews are back together.
Little scoreboard watching tonight as well. The Leafs are a point behind the Florida Panthers and have 2 games in hand. The Panthers are currently tied. Last time I checked, 2-2 in St. Louis.
Yeah, 11 minutes to go there.
All right. Tanev back in his own zone. for McCabe. He gets it out at center ice. Tavares trying to knock it off on the wing, and it comes to Nylander. His shot was off a stick and went wide. Caroms to the far side. Marner able to keep it in for Tavares. Tavares banking it back to the blue line. A shot scores! From the point. A shot by Myers finds the back of the net. I don't think a Leaf touched it. It may have gone off. Beniers in front of the net, but Philip Myers has got his first goal of the season. Talk about coming from an unlikely source.
And now, if you're keeping track, this glances off Matty Beniers, who was sort of standing, he was directly in between the point shot and his goaltender. And it just glances off his left knee, and Philip Myers has his first of the year.
Played down into the
9th career goal for Myers.
I was just looking that up. I got to stop. When's the last goal he had?
It was September 19th, preseason game against Shikoudagi. Look that up.
Was it a bullet?
It
was a bullet.
Yeah. If you're keeping track,
I hate working with you. I really do.
32-12, Seattle defense scoring versus the Leafs. Oh, by the way. You asked me this the other night.
Yes, I did.
Willie Nylander, back-to-back hat tricks, 8 years apart.
And I said,
8 years apart on the same day.
What did I say? A good color man would know what he did on that date in other times.
Through his career.
Yes.
So guess what?
What?
I asked Craig Simpson.
Did he know?
Yes.
Oh, he did?
No.
Oh, good. And what's the answer?
4 career games on February 4th. And I'll give you the numbers are actually scary.
Okay. How did the Kraken get it in over the line onto the left wing side? Myers with his first at 7:23 has taken the Leafs to a 1-0 lead. And his last goal was against Calgary 27 games ago, but that wouldn't have been with the Leafs.
No.
So there, take that. Bounces down into the Leaf zone, and an icing call is back there.
Right, the 4 other games, or the 2 other. He had the hat trick against Boston in 2017, and that was a 6-5 win, 3 goals.
Okay.
2019, in a 6-1 win over Anaheim, he had a goal and an assist.
Yeah.
2021, 7-3 win over the Vancouver Canucks, had 3 assists.
Wow. So what we're saying is, if you're a betting man on February 4th and the Leafs are playing, you might want to wager a nickel or two on.
I am not. I don't give betting advice.
I don't. I don't have enough.
The only
money.
betting advice I'd give you is don't do it a third time.
No, exactly.
But you did.
Leafs get the puck out at center, and now here's Holmberg in on the right side, going wide on his backhand, can't shoot it. Now gets it back to the point. Another shot taken there by Benoit, just went wide. High-scoring Myers sends it around the boards back of the net. Leafs can't get to it, and it'll be Tolvanen playing it high into the neutral zone to get back, and there might be a penalty here for interference.
Right, that's going to be Myers now is going to get on the score sheet another way. I think it's going to be an interference call. As it was Burakovsky, I believe, that he hit.
Chrono number 51 is a 2-minute minor interference.
There we go.
There we are. Penalty kill brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Get home ice advantage on every drive with the new Civic Hybrid. Proudly made in Ontario. Available now at your Ontario Honda dealers.
Mitch Marner picks up an assist on the Myers goal.
So Mitch Marner with the assist, now with 500 in his career.
All right, yeah, you got to make this call as Burakovsky never does touch the puck. It was lobbed out of the zone and bounced past him, and Myers took him out.
Leafs intercept a pass, and Nyes looks up ice and then decides to slam it off the boards and send it down the ice. A high stick making contact with it from the Kraken. And so the faceoff is going to come all the way back into Seattle territory. 10:58 to play first period. Leafs with a 1-0 lead as Marner draws the assist on the Myers goal.
Face-off will be to the left of Joey Decord. By the way, Joey Decord's first NHL game, March 14th, 2021, as a member of the Ottawa Senators. Got into the game, beat the Leafs 4-3. Wasn't supposed to play, but Matt Murray, who was just reassigned to the Toronto Marlies, was injured during warm-up.
Here's a giveaway. Marner's got a breakaway. He's in a goal. Shot it over top of the goal.
Never mind.
We'll get to that in a second.
Well, what a giveaway that was.
Play putt. Tanev up on the boards. The Leafs can't clear. It's down into the corner. Played back to the point now, trying to keep it in there and sliding it around the boards was done. It goes back to the net, and now it's going to come all the way out. Jared McCann has to go back to center ice. Just got onside. That was a close play at the blue line. A bad pass, though, is carried all the way down into the Seattle zone. Do you want to finish that thought?
No, okay.
Did you forget what it was?
I don't think we have time. Another short-handed breakaway.
We'll wait for a stop.
Yeah, that was Decord's first NHL start, though. It was a win against the Leafs in Ottawa.
All right. Here the Kraken hitting the blue line, weaving in Bjorkstrand. Got it around back of the Leaf goal. Benoit fires it around the wall. Down the ice it'll go with 32 seconds left in the power play. Ever been to Seattle?
No.
I went to Seattle when I was a little kid with my parents.
It was there then?
Seattle was there then, yes. Not that long ago. Some of the covered wagons were there. Here's Matthews in with a right wing shot, and it's into the glove of Decord, and it'll be held there. You know, that's a long trip by wagon train.
I guess. Thank God for the space.
I hate you. I hate you.
Thank God for the Space Needle. You knew when to stop.
Well, no, when we hit the water. Our Chrysler wouldn't float as well as my dad at home, and we had to stop there. Yeah, and then we turned around, came home. So it was nice. Yeah.
It's Marner. I don't think the court got a piece of the Marner breakaway.
No, I don't either. I think he shot it right over. Face off to the left in the Seattle zone, and it goes right to Decord, and he'll hang on to that. I don't think Pontus Holmberg was trying to do that. I think maybe the Seattle forward tried to draw the puck back and won the draw so cleanly he put it on goal. They try it again, and it almost does the same thing, but it goes back to the net, and the Leafs get there looking in front of the net. Backhand by Holmberg is stopped by Decord. The puck comes to the left wing side. Pinching down is McCabe, but it comes back to the blue line, and Nylander couldn't keep it in for him. Launched high into Seattle territory. Puck around back of the net. Pacioretty can't get to his man, and the Kraken will send it out into neutral ice, courtesy of Mitchell Stevens. And that forces Tanev back in his own zone. Tanev's brother, of course, is a member of the Seattle Kraken. Back at the point of drive. Blocker save. Rebound. Stopped again by Stolarz. Another shot. Swiping at it. Big scramble. Stolarz down, and he has it in his pad, I think. He's taken the blocking glove off to go and search for it. It's wedged down between his leg and his goal pad.
Boy, he had to stretch that right pad and get his skate to the post to take it away from Stevens and keep this a 1-0 Leaf lead.
His size helped there, no question. 1-0 Toronto. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beat.
What's up, insiders? All right, we've got the commercial break here. Please do the normal YouTube things. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please share the link. Let's get more Leafs fans here in the chat. We've got over 1,000 here in the chat already. Go Leafs, go. We're up 1-0. Myers with the goal, got the penalty as well, but we got the kill. Let's go, buds. Let's finish this first period strong. We'll see you guys during the first intermission. Go Leafs, go. Man, look at that. That is so cool. And then switch it right back. Oh, yeah. That is
Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey. On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
First period brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit connexontario.ca and bet on Willie Nylander for February the 4th production. You heard it here first. That's my tip for the day. Save it for next year. Kraken with the puck down in the Toronto zone. Back of the net. Trying to get it out in front is McCann, and that was blocked and is brought out at center ice now by Toronto. Nylander breaking in on the right side, and the puck rolled over his stick. He backhanded it in front of the net. No one there, and the Kraken get it down into the Toronto zone. Nylander again on the right wing, working with Tavares and Marner. On this line, Berube has tried a lot of different things. Marner getting it back to the point, gets it returned along the boards, looking back to the point. Myers a drive, and that's kicked away by Decord, but he got it through. Tavares in the far corner. Back to the point again, another one-timer that went wide. Nylander getting it freed up now for Domi. Domi, who's off the bench, getting it around the boards. Domi looking for a man, stops it up right at the blue line, but they can't keep it in as the Kraken have cleared it to the Toronto zone. Benoit plays it into Kraken territory. Goaltender Decord pumping it around the boards. Up on the left wing is Jared McCann. He launches it high, too high. Went over the glass too high and too high up into the seats, too high. Really high, really went high. Really up there, went way high. Way high.
Where did you come up with that one?
I was watching a movie today.
Too bad.
Hey, that's part of, getting prepared. Watch motivational films,
Major League?
Yes. I'm hoping to be Harry Doyle.
I think you're closer than you think.
Well, you're his killer, man. I know that. Played off the boards to center. It bounces down into the Kraken zone. No, we joke about that. I worked with Bob Uecker here every night, guys. You know that. He's the hockey version for sure. Kraken back at the side of their goal.
The audio streaming version.
Yeah. Played out at center ice. Fleury trying to get it into the zone does. And the Leafs turn back up at center. A pass by Riley goes off McCann into the zone. And now bunted out at center ice. And Karchek couldn't get into the center ice area cleanly. Goes back into the Kraken zone. Dunn played it around the boards. It comes up onto the near side. Pass intercepted there. Nicely done by Lorenz. Tried to get it into the slot, and he fanned on the pass. Coming back with it, Tanev. Brandon Tanev working in over the line. Tanev goes into the corner against Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and it's played off the boards and out at center ice. I'm really not looking forward to the game in Vancouver with 3 Petterssons. We got 2 Tanevs on the ice tonight, one on either team, but we could have a Pettersson to Pettersson to Pettersson play that's going to be really confusing. Flipped into the zone by the Leafs. Nice. It goes around the boards. Larson will get it up on the wing, and the Kraken are out at center ice with a pass on the right side for Stevenson. Stevenson backhands it deep into the zone. Back of the net is Jamie Oleksiak, but the pass came off his stick and comes all the way back out at center. 1-0 Toronto. 5:24 left to play in the first period. Out come the Kraken to center and into the Leafs zone. A rolling puck deflected wide of the net by the Leafs Stolars, and now they organize in their own end with McCabe passing it through a maze And Tavares didn't take the pass, and it's all the way down into Kraken territory. Changes have been made for both teams. And an errant pass off a stick goes the length of the ice. And a high stick. Was it a high stick making contact? It didn't look like it was a linesman making the call for icing. And since we don't have a photo of the referee at this particular point, I can't tell you. And we're going to commercial break.
So it's not icing.
We'll figure it out where the face-off is when we come back. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
I'm Katie Nolan, and I have a new podcast called Casuals. It's a podcast for people who like sports a normal amount. Casuals is a twice-a-week hang with me and my friends from across comedy, sports, and entertainment, where we talk about all the funny, weird, interesting stuff happening in and around the world of sports. So whether you're a diehard fan or just vaguely sports curious, Casuals is the podcast for you. You can find Casuals on the SiriusXM app, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Give it a try. What's the worst that could happen?
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Radio Network.
Game in St. Louis has 1:49 left in the third period, and the Panthers and Blues are tied at 2. Willie Nylander with 33 goals, second in the National Hockey League. 5 out of 6 years he has scored 30 or more, and he's going to score a bushel full more for the rest of this season as we get an icing against the Maple Leafs. It'll come back into the Toronto zone.
And you brought up not liking the fact that there's 3 Pedersons in Vancouver. I kind of like it because our odds of getting the right player.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. As long as we don't mention first names, we should be good.
Of course, Pedersen's had a...
And if you don't know who has it, just say Pedersen.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. It's going to be an easier game than I thought. Nylander in his own zone.
Pedersen's had a tough year, hasn't he?
Yes, all of them. Brought that into the corner. Nylander unable to get to it. Kraken in their own territory, and Jaden Schwartz gets to center and backhands it down into the Toronto end. 4:22 to go in the period. The goal is Myers from Marner and Tavares. Mitch Marner with his 500th career assist. Philip Myers with his first goal as a Maple Leaf as it comes back out into the center ice area. Benoit back in his own zone. Works up on the left wing with a deflection off a body down into the zone. Played around the boards to the near side. That goal would have come in the 22-23 season with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Philip Myers down into the corner in the Toronto end. Pontus Holmberg gets it ahead, and Bobby McMahon gets it ahead on the right side. Too far for Robertson. Robertson into the forecheck, can't reach it, and it's launched high, out and down the ice, and it's rolling on edge, but it's curled because of the roll right on goal. Stolarz had to touch that up. Leafs get it back in over the lines. Kraken quickly get it back on the... Get it out at center. Now the Leafs in on the right side. Get it back in front of the net, and the pass for Lorenz was just deflected wide. Pacioretty made a nice move there. Something rolling on the ice towards the net. Somebody threw something on the ice, or part of equipment came off. We got a icing call here, I think.
Morgan Riley just took a shot to the face before that whistle went. I don't know if we've got penalties coming up or not.
2:54 left to play in the first period. Shots are 8-6 favoring Toronto. And it looks like Stevenson is going to the box. Good eye, Mr. Ralph. Good eye.
Wow. Boy, double minor too. So a 4-minute power play for the Leafs. And one of the good things too is, you want to load up on the number one unit. This might spill over into the second period where you can, perfect world, they score 2 in 2 minutes and 54 seconds, but that's what left in the first period, and Stevenson gets a 4-minute double minor.
Mitchell Stevenson in the box, and the Leafs win the faceoff. Marner back at the blue line with Matthews. Goes to Nylander on the near side. Back to Marner. Marner to Nylander. Nylander to Matthews. Up high. Down on the boards to the far side. Marner now down low for the Leafs. Now to Matthews. Doesn't shoot it. Matthews with it again to Marner, back to Matthews, back to Marner, a shot that deflected wide. Nyes trying to get to it. Puck is around back of the net, still scrambling. Nyes comes away with it. Back to the blue line, it comes to Nylander. Nylander circles, near circle in to the half boards. Back to Marner, one-timer over on the side. Stop, rebound in front, hit the goal post. Oh my, what a chance that was, Tavares.
Boy, it hits the post and then goes right back in between the legs of Decord, who's face down in the crease. And he's able to smother it. Tavares right away looks up at the scoreboard to try to get a look at the replay of it. But this looked like it was going to be tipped into the empty net.
Matthews with the shot.
And it was Matthew Nyes that made the nice little pass over to Tavares. Nyes with his back to the goaltender.
Wow. And it deflected right back into the sprawled Joey Decord. Leafs are able to keep the puck in on the far boards at the point. And then it's knocked out at center ice and stolen back by Toronto. And now here's Tavares getting organized and leaving it there for Willie. He'll drop it off to Marner. Marner starts back up ice with a glance over his shoulder to see who's trailing. And it's Matthews who will carry it through neutral ice into the line and in. Fed in on the left wing to Tavares. His pass back to the blue line was a bad one, though. Then the referee gets in the way of Marner. And here's a shot on a short-handed rush that went wide. Get out of the way!
I think that might have been yelled on the ice, but maybe a couple of extra words might have been put into that.
Power play with 2:29 to go in it. Minute 20 now left in the period. Second unit out for Toronto. Shot in by Domi. Puck back on the boards. Morgan Rielly got it back to the blue line. Kept in by Domi into the slot. Back to Rielly on the far half board. Centering pass, scores! McMahon in front of the net. I think deflects this as Rielly set it to the front of the goal. And Rocket McMahon was there to tip it in. And the Leafs will get another power play opportunity as this is in the first one.
Full 2 minutes go back on the clock. Morgan Rielly with Bobby McMahon going to the front of the net. Rielly just sifts it from the point, and McMahon with the perfect redirection. This was a smart play by Morgan Rielly. A hard pass. It's probably going 3 feet wide of the right post of the court. But onto the tape of McMahon, who tips it in to give the Leafs a 2-0 lead. And Bobby McMahon now has scored in 3 straight and has 5 in his last 9 games. The thing about the last 2 games, Joe, where McMahon has scored, the ice time was 11:23 and 13:38. So he's doing it, and he's
less time than other people.
Yeah, he's not getting 17, 18 minutes a night.
Leafs shoot it in, and that unit stays on the ice. 58 seconds left to go in the power play. McMahon dropping it back for Domi. Domi to the line, got it to the line, and offside, says the linesman. So it'll be brought back out into the center ice area.
Leafs have had success against Seattle.
Domi, sorry, Jim.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, this is franchise's games number 8. Leafs have won 6 out of 7.
Domi gets an additional assist with Rielly on the McMahon goal. And the Rocket Man has been hot. That's number 17 on the season. Leafs dropping it back. Nylander through neutral ice to the line into Tavares on the near half boards. Sides it back now to Marner. Marner walks to the right wing side. Back it goes to Willie into the slot area. Here's Matthews with a wrist shot, and that deflected just wide. Nylander able to keep it into Tavares, who's back at the net. Nice. Plays it back into the slot area. Back at the point. Matthews holds, goes to a shot taken by Marner, deflects wide. Nylander working down back into the corner. Centering pass, block. Tries to get it again. It comes in front of the net. And this time it is launched out and down the ice with just 4 seconds left in the period. Stolarz thinks about making a long pass and then decides, you know what? 2-0 ain't bad. Let's go to the dressing room with this.
Well, Craig Berube did say before the game, it's our job to protect Stolarz, let him get his legs, let him get into it. 7 shots against, not too bad. Seattle, other than the power plays, did not have a lot of offensive zone time. Leafs outshoot them 10-7 overall, but most importantly, 2 of the 10 find the net.
Myers and McMahon, the goal scorers. The Leafs up 2-0 on the Seattle Kraken, and we have Eilish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert staying up late with us, and they'll be around for this first period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Experience Super Bowl 59 on the SiriusXM app. Catch interviews with the biggest names in sports and entertainment live from New Orleans.
This is Kenny Chesney.
Flavor Flav, boy. Previews and predictions from the experts.
They have to keep the lid on Saquon Barkley's explosive runs.
Music specials to get you pumped for kickoff.
Kendrick Lamar is considered the best rapper of this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. What a first period from our Toronto Maple Leafs. Yes, that was a heck of a period. 2-0 Buds. End of the first. McMahon with a beautiful, beautiful goal there on the power play. Nice part being that it was right at the end of the first minor. Very fun that we got to go for a little bit longer of a power play, but it didn't matter. 2-0 Buds. I have, ladies and gentlemen, hey, there's TSI Allison is in the chat. I love it. Babe is in the chat. And I just wanted to say thank you to the love of my life, TSI Allison, for knocking out this mom thing and wife thing. You're doing an amazing job. So everybody in the chat, please give a huge cheers to the love of my life, TSI Allison with the little unicorn. Go Leafs, go! Big things coming up here on the channel. Wow, we are getting ready for the Four Nations face-off in just a couple of weeks. We've got all of the new graphics going on here. Again, one more time, a big shout out to Muhammad Ali on Fiverr. Dude, Stack, unbelievable job. Unbelievable work. If you need graphic design work done and you do anything like that for your job or anything, check out Stack Art Code Muhammad Ali on Fiverr. Dude is absolutely insane. The stuff he's sent over that I haven't even gotten started yet messing with it. But here we are. I've got got everything going here on the iPad. Oh yeah, got the iPad. I got to dust it off though. Get things a little going. There it is. But we got the iPad going here, and then I've got the Leafs game up on the TV. Man, this is heaven. All right, let's get back to the hockey. I'll let the intermission run. As always, it's I can't wait for the future, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to pass that 100,000 subscribers. We're going to get that plaque. We're at 81,680 as of right now. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button down below. And let's get on track here to 100,000. Because the Four Nations face-off, if everything goes to plan, it's going to be great. Let's see what the intermission report has to say about the Buds' spectacular 2-0 first period. 14 minutes and 40 seconds from now, puck will drop for the second period. Go Leafs, go! Cheers, insiders, and I love you, TSI Allison Unicorn. Did you hear that, babe? She goes, yeah. Love you. All right. Anyways, hockey. Peace.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Radio Network.
Puck back on the boards. Morgan Riley got it back to the blue line. Kept in by Domi into the slot. Back to Riley on the far half board. Centering pass, scores! McMahon in front of the net. I think deflects this as Riley set it to the front of the goal. And Rocket McMahon was there to tip it in. And the Leafs will get another power play opportunity as this is in the first one.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Ailish Forfire and Justin Cuthbert here for your intermissions and postgame as the Maple Leafs have a 2-0 lead over the Seattle Kraken after 20 minutes, thanks to Philippe Myers' first goal since November 2022.
Yeah, there you go.
That is a tough one.
It wasn't. Yeah, it was great. It was great to see Philippe Myers get a goal. Clearly, it's something the Maple Leafs need. I mean, Connor Timmins, 1. McCabe, 1. Tanev, 1. Benoit, 0. Myers before tonight, 0. And then the leaders are Oliver Ekman-Larsson with 3 and Morgan Riley with 5. So the goal scoring from the back end has been very, very scarce, but at least one more has been able to turn that O into something greater than 0.
Yeah, good for him. That's got to feel great. I know he's like in and out of the lineup. Obviously, he's not playing every single game since November 2022. But that's got to feel good. Did get a penalty to that period, but don't worry about it, Philippe. You got the goal.
Giveth and taketh.
Yeah, that's good. The biggest thing about that is Bobby McMahon, again, with another goal. That's 3 straight games with a goal. It's the 17th on the season. Off a really nice shot pass set up by Morgan Riley. So in the power play, Riley, perfect, like kind of seeing eye pass where McMahon just directs it right into the net, right off in the ice. And it was a beauty. And this is now the Bobby McMahon story. It was fun at first when we were like, oh, Bobby McMatthews, this guy might have something. But he is a legitimate scoring threat. It's the 17th goal of the season. And he's getting paid $1.35 million a year. It's possibly one of the best deals in the league.
Yeah, more goals than Mitch Marner, 47 fewer assists, but more goals than Mitch Marner.
Oh, that's
this
a lot
season
of assists.
After, Marner got his 55th of the season in that first period. So Bobby McMahon's more of a shooter. No, this is like the only source of secondary scoring. There's the core 4, and then you can add Matthew Nyes to the equation. And other than that, the goal scoring, there's one guy with more than 10. It's Bobby McMahon with 17. And one guy with more than 25 points. And that's Bobby McMahon with 25.
Yeah.
So he is the leader of the secondary scoring, playing on a third line tonight with Pontus Holmberg and Nick Robertson. And I like the McMahon goal, but what I probably like more about the goal was Morgan Riley making another play.
That's
on
that
the power
confidence,
play,
Justin.
picking his spot, picking McMahon in the front, out of the front of the net, and kind of hand wrapping that one for Bobby McMahon. So maybe there's something happening here in terms of confidence growing, a conversation perhaps with Craig Berube may have sparked that, but some more quality single plays from Morgan Riley, which are outweighing any negative ones, even though I didn't really pick up on anything too bad there in the first period for Morgan Riley.
Yeah, I don't think the Kraken really threatened too much that period. Anthony Stolarz made one nice save, and I wrote down nice save by Anthony Stolarz, and I was hoping to follow up on a couple saves by Anthony Stolarz.
He was busy early.
He was busy early on.
I guess the great test of the period was, how is Stolarz going to look early? And Stolarz made some saves on an early power play. Yeah.
Rather get in there like he hadn't played an NHL game in a game really since early December. So to get back in there to get tested early, I think that was a great sign that he still felt confident. He still made some saves. He was doing some kind of dramatic body positionings, and a guy that just had a loose body taken from his knee. I was happy to see that he could still slide around in there. So good confidence boost for Stolarz there. But yeah, this is a game the Leafs should win. They should continue to push pedal to the floor here against the Kraken in the second period. But great to see the power play continuing to get more and more goals, because at the beginning of the season it was absolutely brutal. It was the worst power play in the NHL. It was hard to watch. And over this stretch, it's been great. Waiting for Armin to give me the numbers, but it's been good.
Thankfully, it's been good, and it was good in that period, and that they got a lot of time to play on the power play in that period because it was not very good. At 5-on-5, a natural stat trick has the expected goals for the Maple Leafs in that period at 5-on-5 at 0.13. So that basically means they did nothing offensively at 5-on-5 throughout the balance of that period, but they did spend a lot of time on the power play in the period and were dangerous and threatened and scored. So that's all great stuff for the Maple Leafs to continue to work, chip away at the deficiencies of the power play and get some good times rolling with the man advantage. But against a team like the Kraken, you'd like the 5-on-5 numbers to look better.
Yeah.
You'd like
Should
the
be
lines
dominant.
just to have, like, I didn't really notice much from Matthew Nyes and Max Domi, who we both had our eyes on coming into the game. I thought there were some decent shifts from the second unit, but from a 5-on-5 perspective, despite the disruption that was, a couple penalties in the period, I didn't think it was a great 5-on-5 showing from Toronto.
Yep, a 2-0 lead after 20 minutes for the Leafs on the West Coast facing the Seattle Kraken. We'll take a quick break. We will look at the out-of-town scoreboard and get you set for the second period. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Four nations face off for the world to see. International Best on Best hockey is back as NHL stars compete for their country to see which hockey nation will reign.
Star power in abundance.
Canada, Finland, Sweden, USA. Teammates turned rivals and rivals turned teammates. For country, for glory, four nations.
We are set for puck drop.
The Four Nations Face-Off begins Wednesday on Sportsnet.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Over to our sideline reporter now with Break and see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Lorenz looking at the empty net as he gets to center. Drained it!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Ailish Warfare, Justin Cuthbert. 2-0 lead for the Leafs after 20 minutes on the road at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle. All right.
0 waste there in Seattle.
No waste except for...
shifts?
Yeah, I was going to say that, and I thought that was rude, but thank you. Couple wasted shifts out there for the Kraken. Let's take a look at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365 must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit ConnexOntario.ca.
9 games in the NHL tonight. 6 have reached completion in a big Atlantic Division matchup. The Lightning got a 5-1 victory over the Ottawa Senators. Ovi moved 16 goals within Gretzky in a 4-3 victory for Washington over the Philadelphia Flyers. Dylan Guenther scored an overtime winner as Utah beat the Blue Jackets 3-2. The Golden Knights got a win over the Devils in New Jersey 3-1. Excuse me. The Wild beat the Hurricanes 2-1. Panthers got a 3-2 victory over the St. Louis Blues. And in the second period, Avalanche up 3-1 on the Flames. While just getting underway, it's Canucks and Sharks are scoreless in the Shark Tank.
Beautiful. 8 goals in the last 18 opportunities over the last 8 games to lead the league since January 14th with a 44.4% rating. That is a Leafs power play. Thanks to Armin for calculating those for us. That's not even including tonight, which they have won. Thanks to Bobby McMahon. So the PP has been red hot.
And you saw Mitch Marner's 500th career assist in the first period.
And we didn't think we'd have less to talk about after that first period.
It was mainly Philippe Myers getting the camera shots and getting the credit after that one bounced in for him. But Mitch Marner hits a major milestone in his return to the lineup. So congratulations to Mitch Marner.
And congratulations to my QB, Josh Allen, on winning the MVP.
There you go. You won something, Buffalo.
Good period for everyone. All right, we'll send it over to Jim Ralph and Joe Bowen, who'll have the call at the second period next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Fantasy Sports Radio is live from the Super Bowl this week. Kendall Valenzuela here from Fantasy Life. Join Adam Ronis and I tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern as we are getting you ready for Eagles Chiefs from a fantasy football perspective. From winning daily fantasy lineups to playoff leagues to prop bet advice, we have everything you need to win. Tomorrow, we'll talk to Kevin O'Connell, Ricky Williams, and more. It's Fantasy Life live from Super Bowl Radio Row tomorrow, 1 Eastern on Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scored the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen. Walks in. Put it between his legs. Shoots it. Score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Moves in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Radio Network.
Leafs carry a 2-0 lead into the second period in the Seattle Climate Pledge Arena. And we would be remiss if we did not wish Don Cherry a very, very belated happy birthday yesterday. 91 years young. And Grapes is still one of our favorites of all time.
Well, and to steal one of his famous phrases, God love him.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, absolutely. God love him is right.
Well, let's see if the Leafs can expand on the 2-0 lead they've taken here into the third period. Still on the power play as part of the double minor.
Myers and McMahon with the goals. As the Leafs and Kraken get ready for the faceoff. Puck is dropped. We're underway. And 50 seconds left in this power play. Marner leads the rush to center. Decides to carry it to the line and in. Now running out of room, but got it to Nyes. Nyes gets it back to Marner. Marner looks to the left wing side, comes back to Matthews. A pass back on the far side finds Nylander. Saucered back to Marner. Near side comes back to Marner again. Now to Matthews on the right wing boards. Into the slot area for Marner. A little touch pass there for Nylander that didn't work. Leafs just do keep it in. It goes to Willie, who closes, and a shot. Decord got in the way of that. Now it's back of the goal and was swept off the boards, and out and down the ice it's going to go. Stolarz is out waiting for someone to come back as the Leafs are in the midst of a change with just 6 seconds left in the power play. So they're going to go 1 for 3 with a man advantage thus far as the double minor produces the 1 goal but not the second. Puck down in the Kraken end. Leafs trying to keep it in there with Pontus Holmberg playing it into the corner for McMahon. McMahon comes out on his backhand. One-timer, a weak shot that was stopped. The rebound, McMahon gets it again. Back to the point. Fed into the corner now for Pontus Holmberg. He couldn't get it out in front. McMahon does, and now brought out at center ice by the Kraken. Stevenson in on the left wing with a weak shot that was well wide of the net. Stolarz tipping it, and the Kraken get to it on the near board. Good pin there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Leafs get the puck to the line, but not out. Tipped in there neatly by Capo Caco, and it's back now. The Leafs getting it in over the line with Robertson. Robertson down the boards, ran into a traffic jam there, named Vince Dunn, and he couldn't get it in deep. Now the Kraken get it to the line and out. They'll bank it off the boards and down into the Toronto zone. Stolarz leaving it there as it's whipped around the wall to the near side. Pacioretty couldn't trap it. And Seattle have it again under control in their own zone. Flip pass up on the left wing. Brought in over the line by Shane Wright. Brought it into the corner. Couldn't get it cleanly in front of the net. And when he did, it was picked off there by McCabe. Now the Kraken get it again. Back of the goal goes Burakovsky, trying to get it back to the point, and does. Dunn unable to shoot it. Dished it off on the other defenseman, but the shot was blocked. Leafs are going to get to the puck and tip it to center and out into neutral ice. Kraken go back after it. Vince Dunn getting it ahead. Brought in over the line now by Shane Wright. Dropping it back. Trying to get in front of the goal now was Larson. Wright was there, but he couldn't get him the puck. Larson with it on the far boards. Cycles it down low and back of the net. That's cut off by Tanev of the Maple Leafs, but the Kraken keep it in. Dunn, left wing side. Can't get it to the net. Leafs have done a good job of boxing out and not allowing any distant chance. And now the Leafs get a chance here. Off the wing, a shot hits the goal post. Matthews hits the goal post on a turnover. Shot blocked there by Benoit. Leafs breaking out again. Myers banking it ahead and in over the line. Benoit gets it in for Nyes. Back to Myers. The shot kicked away by Decord. Leafs have it again and a whistle. Too many men? I don't know. Can't see the official. Don't know what's going on. Craig Berube's trying to figure it out too.
The ice.
Yep. Too many men on the ice.
And it looks like it's going to be Toronto is going to take it.
Yeah, the Leafs had the puck.
All right, Kraken crew, let's crank it up.
That's one thing about the Calgary game. A lot of unnecessary penalties. And
this was a penalty that happened a lot last year.
Yeah.
Not nearly as often this year.
Boy, and this wasn't even close. I mean, this wasn't a matter. This was somebody decided I better get off because we have too many on. This wasn't just an early line change or anything like that.
It was a brain cramp. Face off to the right in the Leaf zone. Fed around back of the net for McCabe. He gets it to Marner. Marner pounds it off the boards and down the ice it goes. Too many men on the ice. A penalty, and this is the third power play opportunity for the Kraken. And we'll get to our penalty kill read when we can as they bring it out at center ice. Paco gets it on the far side. Schwartz got it in over the line. It goes back of the net. Cut off there by Chris Tanev. Tanev can't get it cleanly to Matthews, and the Kraken work the outside. Dished off now for McCann. McCann goes back of the net with it. Off to the far point. Back to the blue line once more. Dunn holding it in to the right wing side. Trying to work down low is Kakko. He goes back at the net. Sends it back on the boards for Beniers. Beniers to the left wing side. Closing. Fake shot. Still no shot. Cleared back to the point once more. Leafs doing a good job at keeping things clean in front of the net. A centering pass. Toe save made there by Stolars. Leafs are going to break it out at center. Marners comes to the line. Now getting a change of players is more important. So he circles back and sends it all the way back into his own zone. Myers will step up on the near side and he'll hammer it out and down the ice. And Decord stopped that. It's a good thing he did because Nyes was circling around on that left side. If the puck had come clean, he might have gotten a clear shot. Brought in again by Stevenson now for the Kraken. They get it back to the point. 25 seconds left in the power play. Blocker save made by Stolars. Kept alive by Seattle. Into the slot area for Brandon Montour. Montour down into the corner. Now at the side of the goal it goes. 12 seconds left in the power play. Kraken with it again. Burakovsky goes back to the net. Centers in front with a shot. Glove save and a dandy. Made by Stoli, the goalie. And the Leafs will kill off most of this power play. Brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Get home ice advantage on every drive with the new Civic Hybrid. Proudly made in Ontario. Available now at your Ontario Honda dealers.
I believe that was Brandon Montour, former teammate of Stolars in Florida. But he was able to snap that out of midair. I don't know how the knee feels. That left hand's fine. Yeah.
And looking at the goaltender, Montour has a giggle and a laugh on his face. Bet you Stolars probably said something to him. Were you vocal like that when you made a good save? Did you kind of have a word with the guy?
No, I was usually as speechless as everyone else.
People must think we rehearse this. They really do, you know?
It's used to say wall.
Whoa. You stopped that? Oh, that was a great goal. And he had to push hard to come out to the top of the crease to get there, and that glove.
That's what I like the most about that save is that he's on his way out. Instead of a lot of times, especially in the power play, you think if you play deeper in the crease, gives you more time to react.
Shot from the point. Ricochets wide. Centering pass. Blocked again by Stolars, and then it went wide. Riley trying to get it up the boards, but it doesn't clear. Kept in by the Kraken. Onto the left wing side. Mahura tries to play it off the blocker of Stolars. The Leafs, Riley, unable to get it up the boards for McMahon. Now McMahon battles for it, can't get it out. Here's good pressure again by Seattle. Left wing side, closing, shooting. High off his stick and wide. Rebound, Karams to the far side, and now back to the point to Kolvinen on the right wing side, and a one-timer went wide of the net, and it's gone up into the screen. And Stolars has been busy here in the last couple of minutes, and he has been excellent. Ooh, one hit the goal post. All right. Well, you know that now. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Visit connexontario.ca.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars.
What's up, hockey fans? How we doing tonight? Thank you for hanging out with us once again for another Toronto Maple Leafs game. Please hit that like button down below. This is your nightly reminder. Please hit the like. It helps us bring more hockey fans here to the chat to cheer on our Maple Leafs while we go to get another 2 points. Thank you for being here as well. Another special instruction that I will save for a special guest. Take it away, Joe.
To share the link of this YouTube live stream on social media to help bring more football fans to our amazing community, changing the world one insider at a time. Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert, Armin Zagarian producing, and Hall of Famer Tom Young pushing the buttons for us, wearing his Leaf jersey just for good luck tonight.
Number 16.
Yeah.
But it's not, it wasn't for Mitch Marner. It was for Mike Wold.
Yeah. Well, Tom's that old. He's like us. He remembers people with different numbers. Here the Kraken under control of the puck back of the Toronto goal. Fed too far for Schwartz. Kept in at the blue line. The Leafs have been hemmed in here for about 2 minutes. With a couple of stoppages in between. Played around back of the net. And Tanev finally has a little bit of room to play it up ice. And he does, just getting it out. Nylander couldn't come up with it. And now played in over the line. Marner almost stole it. But it was grabbed off by Alexiak and played out at center. Schwartz in on the left wing. A shot directed wide of the net by Stolarz. Kept in at the blue line on the far side by Toronto's native Jamie Alexiak. Centering pass. Knocked away by the stick of Stolarz. Nicely done. Back to the blue line. Alexiak gets it off on the wing. Long shot. Blocked. Still free. Where's the puck? It's back of the net. Stolarz can't get up because one of the Kraken was sitting on him. That would have been an interesting call. Leafs get it in over the line. Nylander on the left wing boards. Stops up. Still with it. Leafs would like to have a little zone time here. Give Stolarz a little break. At the point, fanning on it was Myers, but it goes right to Matthews. And the shot was stopped there by Decord. Not going to get a better look than that as it goes down into the Leaf end, and Stolarz will leave it there for Myers.
Yeah, just started on a fan shot by Myers, but turned out to be a pretty deadly pass.
And just offside is Domi as the puck was partially blocked on the boards, and he couldn't get back to straddle the line long enough before the puck arrived on his stick.
Now, we've often talked about, I mean, even the greatest goal scorers in the world are streak scorers.
Yep.
Bobby McMahon, as we pointed out, 5 goals in an 8-game stretch, including 3 straight. Earlier in the year, he had 6 goals in 8 games, 3 goals in 3 games, 3 goals in 2 games.
Isn't that something? Kraken will launch it down into the Toronto end. Benoit and Myers play it up the boards. Domi trying to tip it free, but they don't get it out the first time. And Domi will look to the near side to find Myers, who will play it off the boards ahead. And Nyes would get it into the zone. Nyes after it as it's played around by Dunn, and out come the Kraken with a pass up on the right wing side. Long ring around the boards will come to the near side. Leafs get there in numbers. The puck goes around back of the net. Ekman Larsson couldn't come up with it. A pass back to the point. A long shot off the stick of Dunn is scooped up on a hop by goaltender Anthony Stolarz. And with 11:33 to go in the second period, face off in the Leaf zone, 2-0 Toronto. And the big question of the night was, how would Anthony Stolarz feel and play? The answer, I think, at this particular point is okie dokie.
Yeah, they really haven't, I mean, like you said, the last couple of shifts, a lot of time, offensive zone time for Seattle. But they haven't hung them out to dry. They haven't, there haven't been a lot of odd man rushes for Seattle.
Face-off win. A shot was blocked. Leafs are banking it, but it's going to be too far and too hard. Icing call against Toronto. Lorenz couldn't get there around the defenseman to prevent it, so it's back down into Toronto territory again.
Not sure what it was like growing up in the Tanev household, but I'm going to guess they went to the same barber. Both still with the longish hair. Or maybe they didn't go to the barber.
Yeah, maybe mom did. Maybe dad did it. Put a bowl on their head and just snipped. Played around the boards and out into the center ice area, and racing after it is Lorenz. He's going to get to it, but is bumped off the disc. Then got it freed up again, but played it back too far, and in between the defense. It comes back to the Leaf zone, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets it to Riley, who will shoot it down into Seattle territory. Kraken go back after the puck. Leafs lead 2-0. And an errant pass, and this is going to go for icing against the Kraken.
Now,
sorry.
One of the great things about social media, they're on one of the sites, they'll show random hockey highlights. And one that I'd forgotten, and I don't know why, was the Leafs were playing Arizona at home. Start of the third period. Leafs have a power play. Arizona wins the draw. Arizona scores from their own blue line off the faceoff. On Jonathan Bernier.
Yeah.
Oliver
I remember that.
Larsson was the goal scorer.
Was the goal scorer?
You remember, Carolina scored from even further away on Jonathan Bernier. It was down, hit the corner of the boards to the right of Bernier, came across the goal line, hit a skate, and went in. That was Ron Hainsey. So both defensemen would eventually play for the Leafs.
And, of course, the longest one was the Islanders.
Against Vesatoskala.
Yes. And that was unfair. That bounced about 2 times and went over, and then the Leafs ended up winning, and Toskala was a game star.
Yeah, it was 2-1.
Yeah.
They won.
Okay. You never know, Mr. Ralph. That's why they play the game. So, very heavy thought.
Yes.
Leafs get it.
Thanks, Harry.
Yeah, it's quite all right. Played back to the point. Wrist shot by the Kraken goes wide of the Leaf goal. McMahon tipped it into the corner. Now gets it up on the wing with skating room. And a long lead pass looking to spring Robertson didn't work, but now McMahon carries in. McMahon trying to get a shot and it went off a skate. And the Kraken will bring it back at center ice. Brandon Tanev playing it on the backhand down into the Toronto zone. Myers, who opened the scoring for Toronto, got it ahead to Robertson, who launches it high to the Kraken blue line, but not into the zone. Back into neutral ice. Puck turned over. Pontus Holmberg unable to get to it. McMahon couldn't hold up his man as Beniers got it into the zone. Kraken around back of the net. Play it back to the point. Off to the near wing. It comes for Vince Dunn. A shot. That stopped. Paddle down play made by Stolarz to get it into the corner. He has such a long arm reach. Twice now with that paddle down, he's made great saves. Now there's one off the shoulder and a good save made, and the Leafs are going to launch it high out and down the ice, and this is going to bounce and be called for icing. Mitch Marner picking up an assist on the opening goal by Myers, his 500th assist. Boreas Salming has 620. Matt Sundin, 567. Darryl Sittler, 527. And then Mitch Marner, 500. I would suggest that Sittler's mark is going to be in jeopardy at some point in time this year. 27 away.
Well, especially the way Marner's been putting the points up. I mean, he is the ultimate setup guy, right?
Sure is.
Does have a 3-goal game in Detroit this year.
Done with a shot stopped by Stolarz. 2-0 Toronto. Larson trying to keep it in. Gets it back to the point. Another shot this time was blocked by Benoit. And the Kraken have to go back out at center. But they've had a lot of zone time here in the second period. Good play by Benoit to stand up his man. But the Kraken keep the puck alive. Dunn getting it back to the point. Fed off there by Larson to the far side. Played into the corner then by Fleury. Comes back to the blue line for Chandler Stevenson. Back to the point. A drive. And Stolarz got wind of that and blockered that away in front. Good save again. Leafs trying to get the puck out and finally do and muscle it to the blue line courtesy of Pontus Holmberg, but right back into the zone comes Seattle. Long shot and Benoit gets into a bit of a pushing session on, well, never mind, now it's a fight. Benoit in a fight, throwing a punch, and he's got Bjorkstrand kind of in trouble here. Bjorkstrand gets back up on his feet, trying to throw. They've got a pretty good grab on each other's sweaters here. No one ever to get a hand free. Bjorkstrand threw an overhand right, and I think they've just decided that the tugging war is enough.
Boy, Benoit's cut, though. Blood all over the jersey. Looks like he's bleeding from his nose. I don't know if Bjorkstrand caught him with a punch. Oh, you know what? That might have been an elbow.
Oh, and a good cross check, too. And Benoit then dropped the gloves, and that's when it started. Well, we'll see how they sort it out in St. Louis. Out in Seattle when we return. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Sirius XM's Super Bowl 59 radio brings you closer to the biggest event of the year as the stars of the sports and entertainment worlds converge in New Orleans. We'll be covering it all.
Superstar Kenny Chesney, Patrick Mahomes.
And it's the only place to hear the game plus the Apple Music halftime show starring Kendrick Lamar.
Get the whole world talking King Coaches.
Your ticket to everything happening in the Big Easy is Super Bowl 59 radio, channel 106 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA, Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us, and I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations Team Canada face-off associate GM Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
We're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate. Weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Radio Network.
Benoit and Bjorkstrand getting penalties. That started with an elbow to Benoit that drew blood and bloodied his nose, and that's why the fight started, and it was right in front of the Seattle bench. Benoit is going off for a little bit of repairs. Not sure what the penalties are. They have not been shown to us.
Yep, 5-on-5.
Yeah, coincident majors then. Here the Kraken bringing the puck out at center. Brought in by Tanev, Brandon Tanev to the right wing side, got it down into the corner, trying to center. That was blocked. A rebound was pushed off the side of the goal there by Tolvanen. Play around back of the net. Brandon Tanev of the Kraken getting after it. Gets along the boards. He gets double teamed over there. The Leafs can't get it out. Puck on the far side. Another wrist shot blockered away. Still free in front. Nicely corralled there by the Leafs. And it is cleared out into the center ice area by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Now Nylander in on the right side. Makes a little move. Dropping the puck back for Morgan Rielly. Rielly holds. Nowhere to go with it, but send it back at the net. Tavares into the far corner for Domi. Domi gets it back to the point. Nylander back there as well. On the right side it goes. Tanev getting it back to the blue line, and Domi doesn't shoot it. Back to the left wing side. Now on the near side for Tanev. Tanev down into the corner. Matthews gets it back to the point. Looking in front, still free. Leafs with some pressure here. Matthews with it. Back to the blue line. Wrist shot coming. Scores! And goaltender Decord is saying a high stick.
Well,
Nice in front, I think.
Yeah,
deflects this.
Max Domi was there halfway, and then Nyes was right in front of the cord. And the Seattle goaltender reacting right away that it was knocked in with a high stick. We're going to get a look at this now. Oh, I think it is a high stick.
Yeah.
I think this is coming back.
It?
Yeah.
Domi touches it, but does Nyes touch it? If it is, that's what's going to be decided.
It might be a double deflection.
Yep.
But I definitely think Nyes' stick was over the crossbar.
Well, are the Kraken going to look at this? They have a video crew. And it looks like they are going to take a look at it. All right.
Yeah, just from the height of Nyes. Remember, it's the crossbar, which is only 4 feet high. And Nyes, well over 6 feet.
Oh, well over.
The previous play is under review to see if the puck was locked in with a high stick.
Even Matthew Nyes is on the bench going, I don't think so.
Yeah. Could be.
The difficult thing about this, though, is for the officials to get the right angle. And even the one we're seeing where It's behind the, there's no question. This is almost head high. Like right around Matthew Nye's left ear is where he makes contact. So this is going to be called back with 7:23 to go. Look at, there was
not an awful lot of celebrating there. We'll go through the motions, but we're thinking hard about this one.
Well, I know we talked about it. Craig Berube brought it up afterwards that Calgary did not challenge Nye's goal in the third period. Golden made it 5-2. And Ryan Huska decided, and the Flames decided not to challenge. But like Craig Berube said, we thought maybe just because of the circumstances, they would challenge just in case, because 5-2
Nyes definitely gets a stick on it because it goes down.
Yeah.
After that and underneath the glove.
Yeah, I'm really surprised this is taking that long.
I mean, he had his stick high, and he's on the way of bringing it down when he makes contact. So what they're trying to see is
it's still
below.
It's still head high, which is well over the crossbar.
You're just being miserable tonight because you probably didn't get enough sleep. It's a late night game. You're probably tired. You're just miserable.
Like this every night.
Well, the Leafs video crew have been outstanding. 4 for 4.
Jordan Bean and Sam Kim.
Yep. And here's the decision.
You want to bet?
No, I don't bet. I don't ever bet.
After video review, the call on the ice stands. We have a good goal.
Wow.
You owe me $500.
Yeah. That's as soon as they sent me the I cannot believe this stands. And
here's the point. Yeah, but he's bringing his stick down up high when he started. When he got it down, they're saying that he was even with the crossbar.
I just thought,
and obviously correct.
From the one angle we saw, it was about parallel to his left ear when he brought it down. I'm great for the Leafs to get away with it, but the other thing is, Joe, there was really only the one angle, wasn't there?
Yeah, 21st of the year for Nyes, and the Maple Leafs have a 3-0 lead over the Seattle Kraken.
Every now and then it's nice to be wrong, isn't it?
It is. I wasn't wrong. I said it was a goal.
No,
Played
you didn't know.
To the net and gloved by Stolars and held for a faceoff.
I don't believe. I went to bet. You said, no, I don't bet.
See, I don't bet. Yeah. But then I want my $500.
Oh, yeah. It's in the mail. I bet you don't get it. Well, and does Max Domi get a piece of this as well?
It's a double deflection, I think.
Like I said, the strange thing is, even the goals in Calgary, we got 4 or 5 different angles on it. And this one, all we saw was the one.
At the point, a shot goes wide of the Leaf goal. Kraken after it, trying to center, but they lose the handle on the puck. And now played ahead by Matthews, and out at center comes Domi. He's going to bank it in for Morgan Riley, who jumps into the rush. In around to the far side for Nyes. Nyes cycles it back for Riley. Riley working into the corner, stops up, goes across the ice to find the near side. Riley playing it into the corner. Tipped by Matthews back of the net, swept to the line, and it'll be grabbed off by the Kraken. And Kakko gets it out at center ice. Kraken get it in over the Toronto blue line. Work to the right wing side. Wrap around attempt, stopped by Stolars. Leafs have sent it out and down the ice, and it appears it'll have enough to go for icing, and play is whistled dead.
The Leafs 3 goals on 15 shots. Seattle now up to 16 shots on goal. Philip Grubauer. Boy, it is so difficult for a lot of goaltenders to maintain a certain level of play, right? He gets sent down from Seattle. We saw Tristan Jarry end up getting sent down to the minors. Been a lot of guys in that $5 to $6 million range that find themselves back in the American Hockey League.
Face off to the right of Stolars, won by Toronto. Punched around the boards, and Riley swings it around on the wall. They don't get it out initially, and it's back of the net. Stolars getting it now. Myers couldn't handle it cleanly. Gets some support from Matthews. Now to the far side, a good hit by Nyes. Took down the Seattle player who's complaining to the official, and the crowd reacting a little bit. Well, the crowd reacting a lot now. Now brought out at center by Alexiak. Got to the line, poked off his stick, but on the right wing side, Burakovsky gets it around the boards to the near wing. Bouncing puck along the wall, corralled by Stevenson, but he couldn't keep it in for Seattle. And it's out at center ice with 5:22 left to go in the period. And the Maple Leafs up 3-0, and they've decided that McCabe and Matthews get assists. So apparently, Domi did not touch it. As a shot goes off his stick and up into the screen in behind Stolarz. So never mind. I was wrong. For the very first time in 43 years of doing this job, I admit I was wrong.
Let the record show. February 6th, 2025. Better go to commercial.
Never mind. I'm getting Matlock to work on my defense. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in stock, ready to deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Got it into the slot now for Knies, who scores!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Nice little tidbit from Terry Koshin, our friend. Matthew Knies had 15 goals in his first season at the University of Minnesota, 21 in his second and final season, 15 goals in his first full season with the Leafs. Now he has 21 in his second.
Hopefully he
we have
that.
no track record for third years. So Terry's going to have to do a little more research next season. And I got a sneaking suspicion he's probably going to have more than 21 this year. Pass blocked by the Leafs. Kept in at the blue line, and a shot from a sharp angle with Nylander in front was deflected wide. And now Schwartz able to carry it out into neutral ice and up on the right wing and gets into the Leaf zone. Schwartz steps up, gets it down into the corner. Myers able to take it away initially from his man. Got it freed up for Marner. Little touch pass to find Willie. And Nylander gets it out for Morgan Riley, who's going to shoot it in. We talked a lot about Morgan Riley's plus-minus the other night. He was pretty good the other night.
Yeah, +3 against the Calgary Flames.
Bouncing puck to the Toronto blue line. Tanev misfires on a lead pass there for Rocket McMahon, and it's an icing call.
Hey, shout out to, I know who's listening, driving home from Port Colborne, Jesse Ralph.
Hey, Jess, how'd it go tonight?
And Greg Enright.
And Greg? Are they both starring?
Yeah, well, I mean, the show together.
Now, I'm going to tell you, because if you enjoy comedy and you enjoy going to comedy shows, they're all over the province, and just make sure you follow Jesse Ralph and make sure you go and watch, because he's a lot better than his old man, much funnier, much smarter, and the information you're going to get from it is going to be much better than what you're going to get from here.
Yeah, but here it's free.
well, you got to pay a few dollars to be entertained, and they do a great job. I'll tell you, I've been to a couple of them, and he is outstanding. Seattle with it in the far boards. Looking for a pass back. It comes to Mahura. Shot. That was just off the mark wide. Trying to get to it is Chandler Stevenson, and the Kraken kept it in momentarily, but the Leafs steal and try to get it ahead. And it's Robertson in alone. And the puck rolled on him as he moved from backhand to forehand. Then a shot blockered in front. It's still free in the goal crease. And Decord is able to get to it. Now we've got Rocket McMahon double teamed here with a couple of Kraken trying to get a hold of him. And the linesmen have broken that up.
That's Mahura that seemed to want to get at McMahon more than anybody else.
Do you think after the 2 games in Alberta that Mom and Dad actually put the bill for dinner? I mean, Bobby had a pretty good trip to Alberta.
I think, Bobby, you gotta treat your parents to dinner.
You think at that
you make it to the NHL. That's the one thing that kept me out of the league. I wanted to save the money.
Great chance by Robertson, but as he went to the forehand, it rolled off his stick.
How do you like to be Joey Decord tonight? All 3 goals are deflected point shots in the game. And you love
we talk about not getting the puck through from the point.
Yep, and you love it from a Leaf standpoint, even though the one by Myers went in off a Seattle player. I mean, McMahon's was a redirection. And then, of course, Nyes. I mean, you'd love to be able to see an angle close at ice level, wouldn't you, on the Nyes thing? And you would think something like that would be available, but we didn't see it on the replay.
Leafs get a turnover in the center ice area, but give it away. McCann gets it down into the Toronto zone. Myers will ring the boards with it. Didn't get enough on it. Cut off by Burakovsky, and his pass is knocked away and poked out at center ice by Toronto. I'm going to get a nasty note from Jesse Ralph saying, thanks for the real good plug, but you did it during a game that started at 10 o'clock. Couldn't we get somebody when they're listening? A loose puck in front of the Leaf goal, and it turned over and brought out, and out at center ice it comes. We'll get that done next game for sure when we're in, when they're in Vancouver. Played around the boards, it'll come to the near side. Kept in there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Back to Pacioretty. Shot went off a stick. Sharp angle shot is swallowed up. I think Decord thinks he's got it, but the official wasn't really sure. He certainly didn't blow the whistle, and Decord's head was kind of snapping around going, hey, it's over here, I got it.
Most of his lane by his right knee. Morgan Riley just throws it from a sharp angle. It was kind of sitting there, wasn't it?
Well, good sharp eye by referee Kyle Raymond there to make sure that you put the glove on that and really stop play. 2:18 to go in the period. 3-0 Toronto. Leafs keep it in with a wrist shot that deflects wide. Back of the net is Matthews. Matthews trying to come out with it. Stops. Played it back of the net for Domi. Domi still with it. Stick handling. Finds Matthews into the slot. Doesn't shoot it. Gets it back to the point. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Back to Matthews. A drive. And that went off a leg and went wide. Nyes trying to keep it in for him, and he does. Riley into the corner for Domi. Domi looks, still with it. Back to Morgan Riley. Cross-ice pass for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Back it goes to Riley. To the half boards. Now to Matthews. Matthews stops up near the blue line, looking to keep it in, but a bad pass over on the far side. And Kakko will get it out at center for Seattle. He gets in over the line with 1.5 minutes to go in the period. 3-0 Toronto. Played back to the point. Kraken keep it alive with Stevenson into the corner. Trying to work there is Vince Dunn. He was taken down. Puck still free. Morgan Riley gets it up ahead. Domi will make an outlet pass, and the Leafs carry it to center. OEL will bring it to the line with Nyes. They're in need of getting a change, and Nyes just sends it in deep. 1:09 to go in the period. 3-0 Toronto. The goal scorers have been Myers, McMahon, and Nyes.
1 minute remaining in the second period.
Long pass out into neutral ice. Kraken are able to carry it up at center, and it is fired by Larson deep into Toronto territory. Pushed around the boards by the Maple Leafs to find Marner. Marner plays it back to his defenseman. Tanev goes to his defense partner, and McCabe, or at least, gets it out at center. And here's Marner coming to the line and in on the right wing. Tried to make a drop pass for Tanev. His wrist shot was well wide. Tavares sends it back around the boards to the near wing. Marner trying to crack it free. Got it to Tavares. A spinning pass in front for Willie didn't work. Marner after the puck with 20 seconds left. Plays it back of the net. Tavares is there. Tried to tap it in front of the net, but it's cleared to the line. The Leafs are able to keep it in momentarily anyway. And the Kraken now under control. Play it back behind their goal. 8 seconds left in the period. Jamie Oleksiak with a glance at the clock, flips it into the Toronto zone, and the horn will end the period.
Maybe 2 shifts that the Leafs got caught into their own zone in the second period, which isn't bad through the ebb and flow of a game. Leafs holding Seattle to 16 shots after 2 periods. Obviously, Anthony Stolarz has been perfect when he's been tested, but I like the way the Leafs have played in front of him. And like we said, the Leafs 3 goals on 3-point shots that were redirected. Oh, and I want to throw in Mike Rita, who's a comedian you met. I brought up to the booth.
Oh, he's in the car too?
He's listening. No, he's not in the car. He's somewhere else, but he texted.
Well, we can't. If he doesn't make contact with us, how can we give him a plug?
And Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey's in the car with them?
Well, he's probably in a car somewhere. I thought it was Sweep.
You think he's listening to us?
Ailish has a cousin that I think's a very well-known comedian as well.
Oh, maybe she'll chat about that during the intermission. And she's there with Justin Cuthbert as the Leafs lead 3-0 and the comedy show continues. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on the SiriusXM app and talk about all the EPL drama on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA, Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us, and I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Avalanche General Manager Chris McFarland. What went in to maybe change that duo in goal?
With the work of our scout, Wedgwood's experience, he was a veteran guy. He's been through the grind. We were very bullish on Mackenzie, and when the opportunity came to add him, we just felt it was the right move for us, long term.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Devils head coach Sheldon Keefe, you decided to jump right back into it.
New Jersey Devils reached out really within an hour or so of the news coming out of me being let go. And the more I got to know Tom and his vision for the team and seeing the situation, it was a tremendous opportunity that I couldn't let pass by.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The UEFA Champions League is back on SiriusXM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on SiriusXM FC 157 and the all-new SiriusXM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations Team Canada face-off associate GM Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
We're talking about 2 of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
And the Leafs Radio Network.
Matthews gets it back to the point. Looking in front, still free. Leafs with some pressure here. Matthews with it. Back to the blue line. Wrist shot coming. Scores! And goaltender Decord is saying a high stick.
Well,
Nice in front, I think.
Yeah,
deflects this.
Max Domi was there halfway, and then Nyes was right in front of the cord.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, the fan of the Maple Leafs Radio Network. 3-0 for the Leafs after 40 minutes. Hanging in there.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it might be the fact that it's approaching midnight, but this has been a very underwhelming 3-0 victory. I'm just like, or victory. It probably will be.
Whoa.
3-0 advantage. I'm looking at the stats here. 5-on-5 shots for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, what do we at? Like 4 of them?
6 players for the Maple Leafs have recorded a 5-on-5 shot in the game. Philippe Myers has 3.
Oh, my goodness.
Morgan Riley has 2. And then stuck on 1, Matthews, Nyes, Pacioretty, Holmberg. So if you are scoring at home, that means the second line, the nuclear B option of John Tavares, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander, a combined 0 shots at 5-on-5 through 40 minutes against the 5th worst team in the NHL. It's a bit sleepy out there, despite the 3-0 lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
All right. It does feel that way. Like, it's just, there hasn't been so many explosive plays or high danger chances. Nick Robertson had a nice chance, and he lost the puck. It's been a Thursday night, 10 p.m. puck drop against Seattle on the road. But we got a couple things to talk about, including a fight with Simon Benoit and Bjorkstrom, which I think Bjorkstrom initiated it in terms of like the blood on the jersey. I don't think that was a result of the fight because they didn't really fight too much. They kind of grabbed at each other. But at one point you said to me, like, Benoit could just like really give it to this guy, and I almost think that he felt bad.
Maybe, yeah. I think maybe not the most interesting fights. Like, I mean, Reeves and Matthew Olivier was great theater.
That was an unbelievable
But when
fight.
you got a guy who shouldn't be fighting in Oliver Bjorkstrand versus a tough guy in Simone Benoit, maybe he's not a killer, but like when you get a mismatch, you're like, okay, something might happen here because mismatches sometimes often end in violence. And sometimes it ends with a guy just like refusing to throw punches. And that's what we saw
kind of what happened
with Simone Benoit. He looked mad because he got popped in the nose with, it looked like a cross check before they actually dropped the gloves. And it looked like he wanted to try and get some vengeance. But after a while, he was just like, okay, enough is enough. And stopped attempting to throw anything. So, yeah, I thought that could have been fireworks, but it didn't really amount to anything.
We did get an interesting goal. Matthew Nyes gets what I thought was probably going to get called off as a high stick, especially when they challenged it. And we could only see the one camera angle, and they only showed the one camera angle multiple times, which was an overhead camera angle. So we don't trust us. We could only see the overhead camera angle. But I thought it was going to be called off. I was surprised. And I know his stick was coming down when he hit it, but from our one angle from above, I was surprised it was called off, and I felt bad because I thought that Domi tipped it first and then Nyes tipped it. And I was like, man, that guy can't get a break. A double tip, and he just desperate for a goal, but he didn't get an assist, so it sounds like he didn't even touch it. But good for Nyes, good hand-eye coordination. I'm just surprised they let it count.
Yeah, at Climate Pledge Arena, they have 0 waste and zero camera angles. I don't, like, we saw one angle, and these are supposed to be.
That's all we saw the whole time.
We should probably get a few more looks at it. We didn't
And I'm
really,
sure they have other looks, but
it cost them a goal tonight.
We're the ones watching the broadcast.
I suppose there was probably more. These are the toughest ones. Like, where is the stick in relation to the crossbar when the puck actually hits the stick? I think it's the toughest thing, especially when the stick is moving
fast.
And the stick was moving from very up high.
And if it doesn't touch the blade, maybe touch like a little bit further than the stick,
which could be lower than where the blade may be. I don't know. It's just I thought watching it, I haven't seen a conclusive replay, and I think that's partly on television, but also maybe just the reality that they didn't have the proper replay to actually illustrate that it was above the crossbar. So I guess we'll never know. But if you don't know, call in the ice stands, and Matthew Nyes was awarded the goal.
I gotta say, Matthew Nyes, the first thing I thought of when they were going through the handshake line is you gotta act like it's a goal. he was kind of sheepish. Like,
yeah, he was telling on himself a little bit. He was telling on himself.
And then they went through the line kind of like, and then the camera angle did find him on the boards and on the bench, and he looked like, I don't know if it's a goal. I've been there where you're just like, just act like it. You kicked it in, but whatever. You're just going to like fist bump and go through the line and hope that you can convince. But it worked anyway. So 3-0 Leafs for after 40 minutes. We'll take a quick break. We'll do the out-of-town scoreboard. Get you set for the third period. You're listening to Most Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Four nations face off for the world to see. International Best on Best hockey is back as NHL stars compete for their country to see which hockey nation will reign.
Star power in abundance.
Canada, Finland, Sweden, USA. Teammates turned rivals and rivals turned teammates. For country, for glory, four nations.
We are set for puck drop.
The Four Nations Face-Off begins Wednesday on Sportsnet.
At last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
Over to our sideline reporter, download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
They score! Rocket McMahon again!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Well, welcome back to Most Leafs Hockey. Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. As a reminder, post-game, we will wrap up here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. And then we will be joined by Sam McKee of Leafs Talk and Real Kipper and Born. Sammy, who will join us on our stream here. And we will talk to him.
We'll talk Leafs, not Leafs Talk.
No, we will talk Leafs, and we'll probably repeat a lot of the things we've said during the intermission. So we'll basically interview him. Let's take a look at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365 must be 18 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit connexontario.ca.
7 games have reached their final, 2 ongoing, including the one you are either listening or watching to on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. The Lightning beat the Senators 5-1. Capitals got a 4-3 victory. Ovi scored another goal, and it was nice this time, not into an empty net. Utah 3-2 winners in overtime over the Blue Jackets. Golden Knights got a 3-1 victory over the Devils. The Wild beat the Hurricanes at home 2-1. Panthers got a 3-2 win over the Blues. The Avalanche, this one's just gone final, double up the Flames in Calgary 4-2, and still scoreless in the second period. Canucks and Sharks.
Okay.
Stolarz was great in that period.
I was just about to say, last thing I wanted to say was Stolarz was great in that period. And the second thing I was thinking of was, remember when we were all like, Joey Decor, we got to get his Canadian passport.
I mean, the numbers are pretty good. You see the goaltending splits between Decor and Grubauer?
No, I didn't.
There's like a 50-point difference in their save percentage.
Oh, okay.
It is real rough.
Most probably still want the passport.
Dick Stolarz is available.
I don't think he is. Okay, folks. Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph will have the call the third period. Next, it's a 3-0 lead for the Maple Leafs after 40 minutes. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations Team Canada face-off associate GM Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
Yeah, we're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Avalanche General Manager Chris McFarland. What went in to maybe change that duo in goal?
With the work of our scout, Wedgwood's experience, he was a veteran guy. He's been through the grind. We were very bullish on McKenzie, and when the opportunity came to add him, we just felt it was the right move for us, long term.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scored the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The Leafs Radio Network.
Austin Matthews picking up an assist on the Knies tally. 8 games played against the Seattle Kraken. Matthews has 7 goals and 7 assists for 14 points. But has not scored here tonight. But the Leafs have a 3-0 lead on goals by Myers, McMahon, and Matthew Knies.
And for Matthews, it's now a 5-game point streak, 6 assists in the 5 games, but has not scored during that stretch. This is his longest goalless streak of the year for Matthews, but since coming back from the injury, where he missed 6 games in the second stint on IR, 14 games played, 9 goals, 21 points.
Anthony Stolarz getting set as we get set for the start of the third period. Teams at center ice. And the puck is dropped. And it's back into the Toronto zone. The referee had a couple of fake drops there against the boards. Knies trying to free it up. Got it down to the blue line, but the Kraken are able to punch it back into the Toronto zone. Tanev takes his man to the boards. His partner McCabe comes out of the corner with the puck. Works up to the blue line with a rink-wide pass. That was corralled by Domi. He runs into a traffic jam. Knies trying to play it back. The Leafs are in the midst of changing, and Knies takes his man down. There's liable to be a penalty here, although we can't see an arm up from the official because we can't see the official in our picture. Round back of the net. Kraken still with the puck, a centering pass, and that didn't work. And no penalty. Wow. Okay.
We're not doing too well tonight, are we?
No, we're not. No, we haven't. We batted 0. Here's Larson at the point with a shot. That went high and wide as it was taken by Vince Dunn. Larson gets it again to Dunn again. Dunn with a pass into the slot. A tee up, and the shot went off the stick of Tavares. And now Nyes is able to launch it high into neutral ice. Kraken have had good puck possession in the Toronto zone, but the Leafs have managed to keep them to the outside. Really haven't given up a quality scoring chance as Bjorkstrand gets it in deep in the Toronto end, and it's played along the boards. Marner won't reach it. Played around the boards to the far side. Still kept in by Seattle, and now Tavares punches it ahead, and a pass ahead for Nylander with one man back. He drops it back for Marner. Marner carries into the corner. Marner working back along the boards to the blue line. Off a stick, it'll come to center. And the Leafs are back to recover the puck, and Myers will shoot it deep into Seattle territory. Ducourt blocks it there and punches it around the wall. It'll come to center ice, and the Leafs will regroup. McCabe plays it right back down into Seattle territory. Back of the net, Mahura for the Kraken. Stolen back by Lorenz. Lorenz down into the corner. Fourth line on here for Toronto. Lorenz taken down. Well, they're even there on the non-calls then as the puck goes back of the net. And Joshua Mahura will start out with it. Played high to center ice and a bouncing disc, and the Kraken get it in over the line. Right wing side, Shane Wright. And the shot is gloved by Maple Leaf netminder Anthony Stolarz, who makes the save. While he's not doing any damage to his .927 save percentage that he had before injury, which is the best in the league, but it's not played enough games to be registered as that. It's going to be higher than .927. This keeps up.
Goals against us.
Yes.
Going to creep lower, too, if the Leafs can continue to play well in front of them.
Play out into the center ice area. Matthews got it in over the line. Domi bringing it in behind him, and that produced the offside. So face-off is coming in the center ice area.
Well, Shane Wright had that last opportunity on Stolarz. He's got a 6-game point streak going. 3 goals and 7 points in that stretch. Had 2 goals in their loss to the Detroit Red Wings. So the Leafs trying to do what the Red Wings did. They came out the same trip. Red Wings were able to sweep it.
Meanwhile, the Montreal Canadiens have seemed to have hit the skids after pushing things pretty close.
A loss that really, I think, turned it for them was going a 2-0 lead in Anaheim.
Well, they had a pretty good advantage with the Maple Leafs and didn't quite hang on to it either. So puck along the boards in the Seattle zone. Leafs knifing it along the boards. McMahon couldn't get it out in front. Seattle gets it out, and now a race for the puck with Riley chasing his man. Burakovsky gets it into the corner. Now back to the point with a shot. That was deflected wide of the net by one of the Leaf defenders. I think it was Pontus Holmberg. And it's back out at center ice as Robertson tries to get it into the zone. He will, but no one there. Seattle getting a change in as they take their time coming out. Pass by Adam Larson, got to center and across the line. Here's Stevens trying to get a shot. That's blocked, and the Leafs with numbers breaking at center. Nylander in over the line, 2-on-1 with Marner. The puck rolled on him, and then when he shot it, I think Ducourt got a piece of it. Willie had a great chance there to look for Marner, but when he got his head up, the puck rolled on him and rolled off his stick. Now it's cleared down into the Toronto zone, and an icing call coming here.
Kind of the downside of having 2 right-handed shot wingers, too. Nylander on the left wing side, right-handed shot looking for Marner, and it makes it a little more difficult to get that pass over. And just as Nylander, I think, was going to try to hit Marner going to the back post, you could see it just flip up onto his blade, and then he had to pull up and wait.
Really, the only option was to get the shot at the net. Kraken get it out into center. Leafs backpedal into their own end. And a lead pass will find Nylander on the left. He gets across the line and into the corner. Works around back of the net. Nylander on the backhand, still with it. Tried to play it in and fell and lost the puck. And now the Kraken will break it out at center and get it to the line and in. Bouncing puck that Marner was able to save. Tanev around the boards for Nylander, and he'll get it out at center. And the Leafs are going to get a change of players going. Matty Beniers goes back for it. The pass comes out at center. Kraken get across the Toronto line. Nyes had a pretty good handful of jersey there from Taco. Puck comes back into the slot. Now dish back into the corner. Montour looked like he had a great chance to shoot the puck there, and then just took it away by playing it into the corner. Now Matthews dropping back for Domi, a shot, and Decord got in the way of that. Nyes works off the far boards, top of the circle. Left it there for Matthews. Matthews still with it, back at the blue line to Domi. Domi to Matthews, chance to shoot it, and he did, and it was deflected wide of the goal. Nyes after it. Matthews can't come up with it. Played away by Jaden Schwartz, and the Kraken will get it out at center ice. Brought in over the line now by Oleksiak, and he couldn't penetrate. And the Maple Leafs have it with Morgan Riley. Pass out at center. Comes down into Kraken territory, forcing Fleury back behind his goal. Round on the boards, cut off there by Pacioretty. Launched high and scooped into the corner then by Decord, the goaltender. And the Kraken will get it out at center ice. And across the line now for Tolvanen, and a shot, and they score! Deflection in front of the net, but Tolvanen with a shot from cutting in gets the Kraken on the board. It's 3-1 with 14:17 to go.
An opportunity off the rush. The Leafs have good numbers, but backing in front of Anthony Stolarz. And Stolarz, Joe, we talked about how he's been so good for the Leafs, coming out and cutting down the angle. Oh, this is hard to pick up, isn't it? It goes through Fleury and Benoit. And you see by the time the puck's into the net, Stolarz is sort of back. This was an absolute rocket. Stolarz just a little deeper than we've seen him on other opportunities in this game. But I don't know, even if you're out 2 feet, I don't know if you come close to that.
5:13 or 5:43 the time of the 16th goal of the season for Tolvanen. And the Leafs are up a pair now. Nylander up ahead from McCabe. Drop for Nylander. Nylander strides through center, plays off onto the right wing. Almost got it back again. And the Kraken will bank it out at center ice. McCabe trying to shoot it back in. Cut off by Andrei Burakovsky. He gets it into the Leafs zone, and the Leafs send it right back out at center. Seattle will chip it back in. Right wing side. Wright with a shot that was high and wide of the goal. Rebound kept in by Seattle. Right back of the net is taken off the puck, and it is cleared up on the boards, and McMahon gets it ahead to Riley. Riley on the wing plays it in over the line, but can't come up with it as Robertson tried to get it to him. Seattle will play it back and out and down the ice, and an icing call coming here against Seattle with 13:16 left to play in the period. And Tolvanen getting the goal, his 16th of the season.
He's 8th in the last 15 games for Seattle. They've actually got a pretty balanced attack when you start looking at. They've got 4, 6, 7 guys coming into this game. 7 players in double digits in goal scoring. And Brandon Tanev has 9. More than that. 2 defensemen are in double digits as well. So 9 players in the roster in double digits.
Out come the Kraken. It's deflected off a Leaf stick into the Toronto zone. Riley playing it around back of the net. Ekman-Larsson got it up for Domi. Domi with a bank pass through center. And I don't think that was touched. And it's going to turn into an icing here against the Maple Leafs. So it'll come back into Toronto territory. 12:56 to play, third period. And the Maple Leafs have a 3-1 lead. The assists on the Tolvanen goal go to Bjorkstrand and Decord getting an assist.
Craig Berube has stuck with the lines, which has included Matthews, Domi, and Matthew Nyes. How much of that do you think was the fact that Berube liked Domi's game against Calgary with Mitch Marner in the lineup?
Trying to spread the scoring out a little bit. Ekman-Larsson chases into the corner. Riley ties his man up but couldn't punch it up the boards. Kraken around back of the Toronto goal and into the near corner. Cycle it back along the boards. Knocked off the stick there by Ekman Larsson. Now Matthews trying to fish it free. A scrum goes on in the corner with Ekman Larsson pinning it up against the board. The centering pass went off the stick of the goaltender, and then a shot is stopped by Stolarz, and he's able to reach out and pull the rebound back in, and he'll hold it for a face-off with 12:18 to play in the third period. The Leafs with a 3-1 lead in Seattle. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
SiriusXM NFL Radio's coverage continues before Super Bowl 59. Hear an all-access pass from New Orleans as we talk with Hall of Famers, Super Bowl legends, and the stars of the NFL.
I'm going to lay it on the line. It gets to the playoffs. It's win or go home.
Our panel of experts will get you ready for Super Bowl 59 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hear coverage of Super Bowl 59 all week on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid.
Hey you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Wait, where's the webcam button? There it is. Hey, what's up, Leafs fans? Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight here on TSI. We are going after that plaque right there. We're going after 100,000 insiders/subscribers. Thank you so much for being here with us, chatting it up, cheering on our Maple Leafs every single game of the season and the playoffs. Now let's get back to the hockey. Welcome to the new insiders. Cheers. And don't forget, turn on that bell so you don't miss it when we go live. We go live a lot of other sports as well. We'll see you back in the chat.
We went roaring through the East. Started in Edmonton and through the East, won 7 straight on the road.
And Bilesma, the coach now, as the Leafs get it out at center, and then across the line comes McCabe. His shot is off the mask, and the mask is then thrown aside by Decord to stop play. Boy, he had room on that right side. Decord was off his angle. And if Jake McCabe had gone more to his right than the left.
Yeah, far side. There might have been a little bit of room over the block or the catching hand.
As it was, he shot it right between the lookers. Boy, we've seen a lot of that this year, right? The masks coming off.
I do a lot watching the old videos, though. Dump Worsley and goalies that did not, as Decord goes to the bench to get. I mean, it's so hard to believe now. I mean, obviously, everybody shoots the puck so much harder now. That started in the 70s when everybody started to wear masks. And then, I mean, even you couldn't even wear the face-fitting masks that Jerry Cheevers wore and Bernie Prost and Ken Dryden. It's the same thing,
Not able to get the mask back on, you'd be concussed on most of the time.
I mean, even when you look at football, there's been some changes to the helmets and
dramatic
everything
changes.
else. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But in any sports position, I don't think goaltending equipment has changed. Anything has changed as much as goaltending equipment over the years.
I would agree.
Sports. Now, you're just looking at sneakers in the NBA.
No, well, that's true. But and the one area is body armor. Arms and chest protectors. I mean, the stuff that they had back then, the stuff that we wore when we were kids growing up or whatever, I mean, it was felt on your arms.
Well,
and it felt when the puck hit the felt.
I do remember it was a big deal when the equipment came out with a chest protector and arm pads were all one.
Yep.
And
full body armor.
That was a big step forward in protection.
Now, the size of the body armor now is dramatically bigger than what was worn back in those days.
And yet, you're seeing goal scoring going up. I think in the last 7 or 8 years, every year goal scoring has gone up, which is why you've got those composite sticks, which allow.
There you go. That break all the time. Well, DeCord's got his mask fixed, and we're underway as the Kraken play it out at center. The Leafs have it go back in off a stick, but Seattle has control in their own zone. A pass up the middle is deflected, and it's gone into the Toronto bench. 11:51 left to play, and it is 12:20 here Eastern time. Way past my bedtime.
Oh, really?
Way past my bedtime.
And the night off.
I don't know. I'm 10 o'clock. I got the covers right up at my nose at 10 o'clock. When there's not a game. Otherwise I got to work. Face off at center ice as the puck went into the Leaf bench. We have talked a lot about nothing tonight, haven't we? Yeah.
Well,
had a lot of time to do it.
I've always been told, talk about what you know.
That's sound advice for anyone trying to get into the radio business. That's sound advice.
Of
course, you're not going to say anything. Leafs after the puck in the near corner. Holmberg gets it ahead. Robertson tips it to center ice, then goes back after it, able to carry to the center ice line, but then had it knocked off his stick, and it's cleared to center, and then Myers wires one back in. Now Pontus Holmberg with a shot off the catching hand of DeCord, and the defenseman Stevenson rolls it back into him, and it's going to be held for a face-off.
Leafs looking to make it 3 in a row. They are in an interesting stretch. But they had a 5-game winning streak.
And then what happened?
3-game losing streak.
And then what happened?
3-game winning streak.
Uh-huh. And then?
3-game losing streak. So now, fine, so this will be, if they're able to hold on, they'll be 6-6 in the last 12. 4 3-game streaks to get there. Fortunately, the 5-game winning streak came before all that.
McCabe keeps the puck in for Toronto. Matthews on the far side tried to center. It was blocked. Cleared to the line, but the Leafs keep it alive, but it goes off and stick and comes to center. Kraken get it across the line, flipping it towards the Leaf goal. Chipped up on the boards. Matthews starts out with it, but a bad pass was intercepted, and the Kraken have it back, but now the Leafs are able to tip it out at center ice. Play rather ragged here, as both teams are guilty of a lot of turnovers. Lead pass by Domi gets to Matthews. He gets around the defense, cuts for the net, taken down on the play, but the puck is swallowed up by DeCord, but no call against Austin Matthews trying to drive the net. You know, the one thing about Austin Matthews, and we can probably take Brad Marchand as the opposite. He does not chirp the referee.
No.
Matthews doesn't whine and complain. He gets taken down. He gets back up. Let's go after it again. Not a problem. Others are notorious for whining after things that have happened. And Marchand may be, at this point, the worst in the National Hockey League, in my humble estimation.
Last night took a horrible penalty. It really cost the Bruins the game. They were up 2-1 against the Rangers in the third. Roughing penalty against Igor Shesterkin, the Ranger goalie. Rangers scored in the power play, scored against shorthand.
Here's Dunn with a shot that deflects, and that's gone up into the screen out of play. We are 15 seconds away from the midpoint of this third period, and if you stayed up with us, we want to thank you a lot. We got a better news. We're going to really stick it to Vancouver fans on Saturday by forcing them to come to the rink at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Ha-ha, take that. And the game will be broadcast, and we'll have it for you right here.
Yeah, I mean, you get it. Everybody's saying, okay, we got to do it because it's Toronto and it's hockey in Canada and everything. But personally, I would love a 4 o'clock Saturday game.
I'll take a 4 o'clock game here in Toronto anytime. Possible penalty coming up here to the Maple Leafs as Pacioretty got his stick tangled up in the legs of the Kraken's Joshua Mahura. And Pacioretty will go to the box, and this is a big penalty kill all of a sudden. And it's brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Get home ice advantage on every drive with the new Civic Hybrid. Proudly made in Ontario, available now at your Ontario Honda dealers.
And Leafs are guilty of this in Calgary as well, taking unnecessary penalties a long way from their own net. As Mahura looks like he was chirping Pacioretty after he drew the penalty.
Pacioretty with a disgusted look on his face in the penalty box.
I mean, this is kind of right up there with the too many men in the ice penalty and delay of game penalty.
Puck comes in front of the Leaf goal, and a shot is deflected wide. Hammered on the boards then by McCabe, but he couldn't get it out. And now banked off the boards high to center ice to Matthews, who will play it to open ice but won't get there. Grabbed off by Chandler Stevenson, and he'll shoot it down into the Toronto zone. Stolarz tees it up, and it's hammered off the wall but not cleared. Kept in at the point by Brandon Montour. Montour gets a return pass, goes to his defense partner on the left wing side. Trying to work in, it goes around back of the net. Centering pass! Oh, big save made by Stolarz, whose stick is behind the net. But out in front was Shane Wright, and he is robbed by Anthony Stolarz.
Pass comes from below the goal line out to the top of the crease. Burakovsky finds Shane Wright, and Stolarz squares up. Doesn't have time to. He's pushing out.
Oh, you know what? I don't think this goal would have counted. Stevenson, while skating by, knocked the stick out of the hands of Stolarz, and it went behind the net. So I'm pretty sure that one might have been ruled goaltender interference. That's why I wondered, how did the stick get behind the net? And that's exactly what it was. Kraken still on the power play, though. Montour dishes it off on the right wing side. A shot. Lots of traffic in front of the net with Myers. And Myers gets it off the boards and sends it out and down the ice. 53 seconds left in the power play. This is the 4th of the game for Seattle. Montour dropping it back into his own zone. Stevenson starts slowly out. Drops it even further. Kraken getting a change of players, so they're taking their time coming out of their own end. Dropped again by Jared McCann. Up on the left wing, it's shot in. Slowed up a little bit there by Stolarz, but the Kraken are onto the puck, but an errant pass goes off a body to center ice, and racing after it, trying to get in over the line is Marner. Marner being held, and no call. Wow! Back come the Kraken in over the line. In the corner it goes, around back of the net to the near side. The power play with 6 seconds left in it. Was that not a penalty?
I'm with you.
Here's Dunn at the point. Dishes off on the right side for Jared McCann. McCann on his backhand, tried to center. That was knocked away, and Pacioretty out of the box starts down the right wing. Pacioretty trying to drive the net. In on goal, a shot stopped. He has more time as he gets the rebound. Back it goes to Riley, and a one-timer is stopped by Decord. Good rush there by Pacioretty. Now here's a shot wide of the goal at the other end by Tanev that goes into the corner. Brandon Tanev couldn't hit the net, and it's played out at center, and the foot race is on again, this time with Lorenz. He got in and got a shot away as he beat Larson to the puck, but it was stopped by Decord. Kept alive by Riley. Shot blockered by Decord this time. Up into the screen, and the Leafs come out with some jump after that penalty with a couple of good scoring chances, but Anthony Stolarz has played outstanding in a 3-1 Toronto lead. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial wind pummeling your face. Relax by the water, taking in the soothing sounds of thick ice cracking and popping. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Domi! That was up the rebound. Scores! Max Domi!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
All right, we were talking about the time here. It's 12:30 on Twitter or whatever the hell they call it now. Got Tony Cummins is listening to the game in Scotland. It's 5:25 a.m. You need to get a life. You have an issue, Tony. You need some professional help.
He's not up just to listen to us.
Well, maybe he's going to work early. I don't know. But if he's listened to the whole game, the man needs therapy. Although you and I probably could use a little of it, too.
We can start a group. And
Hi,
Tony's welcome.
I'm little Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I have a problem. And I have to work with that idiot over there. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Thanks for sending along that note. I'm going to get over there this summer. I'm going to Ireland for a couple of weeks. Looking forward to it. A centering pass for Tavares didn't work. Tavares after the puck. The Leafs could use a little zone time down in the offensive end of the rink, protecting a 3-1 lead, and the Kraken will get it up on the wing, and Tolvanen, the goal scorer, gets it to center and now fires it around the boards to the far side. Bjorkstrand got there, but it's deflected out at center ice, just out of the reach of Tavares, and the puck is back in neutral territory. And now chopped into the zone by Nylander is heading to the bench. Montour will get it down into the Toronto zone. Leafs will launch it high to center to get it out. Kraken trying to get back and get organized, and now make another rush into the zone. Shot goes off of McCabe and into the corner. McCabe rubs his man out. The puck comes back to the blue line. Kept in by the Kraken. Tanev in the far corner for the Maple Leafs. Got it up on the wing, and a nifty little pass is able to push it out at center, courtesy of Austin Matthews. Leafs get it back at center. Matthews to the line. Flipped it in there for Nyes. Nyes in the left wing corner trying to center for Domi, but it bounced off a stick, and back come the Kraken at center. Domi trying to get back to help out, and it's into the corner as Benoit takes his man out of the play, and it is McCabe sending it ahead, and now the Leafs will break out at center. Pontus Holmberg waiting for teammates. Flipped it in over the line. Got it handed back to him. Now sends it into the corner. A shot on the short side taken there by Bobby McMahon, and that was stopped by Joey Decord. Back of the net, Robertson. Back to the point. Leafs holding, sending a shot towards the net. That was stopped by Decord. Robertson again with it. Off from the wing, and the defenseman pushing in to keep it alive. Round back of the net now for Pontus Holmberg, who was knocked down from behind, and the Kraken are able to get it out. Dunn to center. Gets a return pass as he hits the line, but had it knocked off his stick. Odd man rush coming here for Robertson. Robertson into the low zone, but had it knocked off his stick. One of the Kraken got back to even the odds there and knock it away. McMahon. When he broke, we couldn't see if there were two Kraken back there, but apparently just at the change, they were making a change, and they got a body back. Otherwise, I thought it was going to be a 2-on-1. Bjorkstrand gets it in over the line, but now Lorenz will flip out at center. 4:40 to play on the third. The Leafs with a 2-goal lead. So we hope we'll find out when Joey Decord ends up going to the bench. And Bilesma, the head coach, drop pass and a shot goes wide of the Leaf net. Pushed around the boards for Pacioretty. Pacioretty sending it back. Oliver Ekman-Larsson on the boards trying to help out. It's centered in front off of the goaltender. And Ekman-Larsson banks it off the boards to center. Bouncing puck to the Leafs and rolled into the zone by Tavares. Bjorkstrand back of the net. Starting up ice. Bjorkstrand to center. In on the left wing, an angle shot. And that was deflected by goaltender Stolarz up into the screening and out of play. Shots favor Toronto 30-24. The Kraken have had a lot better zone time, but the Leafs have kept things to the outside predominantly. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
No Shoes Radio is your soundtrack to summer, even in the winter. Kenny Chesney's personal playlist.
It really is the playlist that I have on my boat.
And exclusive behind-the-scenes access to Kenny on tour.
What a great night, Pittsburgh. Great job, guys. I love you.
And in the islands.
I love the sound of this island when it's raining.
Kenny Chesney's No Shoes Radio, Channel 59. And at home with SiriusXM on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA, Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us. And I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations Team Canada face-off associate GM Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
You know, we're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM Radio Network.
Craig is listening out in Cape Breton while he's plowing snow. Maybe he can push over here and get our driveways done. We're getting some snow later on as well. And Aaron is in North Bay. He's a CPA. 'Tis the season, he says, so he's working late. All right.
Those are our people right there.
Those are our guys.
You're a Sudbury guy. I'm from the Sioux.
North Bay's right there. Yep. Quality people.
Yep. Empty net, by the way.
And Cape Breton.
Absolutely. Yeah, I meant
Come
all.
on.
Yeah.
Come
absolutely.
on. Our people. Empty net, 6 attackers for Seattle with 3:59 to play. Puck goes around the boards, hammered up on the wall. Nyes has a chance to get it out, and he does. Kraken have to regroup the puck. They get to center and hammer it in around the boards. Stolars couldn't slow it up. Into the corner, taken by McCabe. It goes into the far corner, and the Kraken have it again. Back to the point, it comes to Dunn. Dunn saucers it back into the corner now. Gets it back on the near side. Dunn to the point, and a shot coming. Blockered away by Stolars. He almost knocked it out over the line. Now the Leafs intercept and just played to center ice by Marner. He thought he had a man breaking and played it up that way just gingerly instead of maybe playing it a little deeper. Now Nyes with some control of the puck, but in trouble with a lot of players around him. He's lost the disc as it goes high in the air. The battle continues along the boards. And a whistle goes. And an arm is up. Did he get a high stick? The Leafs may be a man short here. Montour is complaining. And Matthews is getting the penalty.
Wow.
And is going to the penalty box.
Oh, I see. Yeah, puck was midair. Matthews took a swipe at it and missed. Does he catch? Oh, you know what? I think Matthews is saying I didn't make contact, and kind of the low angle. Looks like it might have missed him by, what, 6 inches.
Well, the official...
So if you watch again, puck bounces up in the air.
Timeout, Seattle.
And Seattle's calling a timeout. We have one more look at it. Is there any contact made? Oh,
I don't
think so. Both sticks come up at the same time, and Montour does the head snap.
Wow. If it did, it grazed the visor. If it got that close. But no, Bilesman has called a timeout. 3:08 to go. And the only good thing about the penalty is the Leafs can ice the puck and take a shot at the empty net. So the power play in effect for Seattle. 6 attackers are on the ice. 4 defenders for the Maple Leafs.
I think about Matthews, as you were saying earlier, he doesn't argue with the officials much. That makes me believe that there was no contact made. Huge
Big
draw
face
for
off
David
here
Kemp.
for David. Yeah, exactly. David Kemp taking it. And everybody moving into the circle prematurely. They'll wait and finally drop the puck, but it comes to McCabe. He tries to ring the puck with it and gets it to the line and out. Kraken have to go back into neutral ice. Organizing there with Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand drops it off. The Kraken get to the red line with a pass in on the far side. Got it into the Leaf zone. Broken up. Marner knocking it into the corner. Tanev nowhere to go with it. Takes it to the end boards. Now it comes out in front of the net. And a shot is blocked. Another shot went wide of the Leaf goal. Comes up on the near side. McCann back to the point. Gets it again. Jared McCann down low. Trying to come out of the corner with it is Fleury. Back to the point it goes. Stevenson looking for a pass. At the point, McCann. Stevenson, a centering pass. Stopped by Stolarz on the rebound. Knocked wide of the goal by the Maple Leafs. Still against the boards. Minute 9 in the power play. Trying to get it out and the Leafs fail. Far side, Bjorkstrand gets it back. Goes to the far side once more. Looking for a return pass. Puck down in the far corner centers. That was blocked by Stolarz at the short side. Back to the blue line for McCann. Near side once more. McCann holds down into the corner once more. Still with it. 47 seconds left. Stevenson doesn't shoot it. Fans are hollering for a shot. Stevenson again. Now the shot comes. Blocked in front. Cleared by the Leafs, but not enough to get it towards an empty net. Center ice area, though. Stevenson has to circle back. 28 seconds in the penalty. 1.5 minutes left to go in the third period. Up a pair by the Leafs. And it bounces out at center. Marner gives chase, but he won't get to it. Took his man down and then looked at the referee and pleaded innocence.
And that was Montour again. That might have been more of a penalty than the Matthews one.
I agree. 7 seconds before Matthews is out of the cage. Back around the boards into the near corner. Leafs have done a nice job here in killing off all of the penalties. And a lead pass missed Matthews, and it's going to turn into an icing and be brought back into the Toronto zone. The Leafs 5 for 5 in the penalty kill here tonight and are now 9 in a row since giving up a goal to the Flames on their first time short. Minute 2 to go in the third period. Leafs hanging on to a 2-goal lead, 3-1 over the Seattle Kraken. Trying to make it 3 in a row on this Western road trip. Draw one by Toronto. Hammered on the glass, and it's going to go off the glass and out of play. As Benoit tried to ring the boards with it. And face-off will be in the Toronto zone.
Leafs beat Seattle earlier this year. You remember the perfect bank shot?
Oh, the billiard shot by Matthews.
Into the empty net.
Yeah, off the bank and in. Corner pocket, of course. Face-off at center, or in the Leaf zone, controlled by the Kraken. Burakovsky to the point. One-time shot. Stopped. The rebound in front of the goal is still free. Grabbed off now by Matthews. Played ahead and out into center ice and down into into Seattle territory. I know. I'm all over the map. Fleury coming back at center. Drops the puck back. Half a minute to go in the third period. Cleared in. Stolarz stopped it back at the net, but didn't give any indication he was going to go for a goalie goal. The Leafs get it out into neutral ice, and the final seconds are ticking down. Tolvanen sends it back in. Burakovsky unable to trap it. Now he does as it's along the board's far side. Trying to get it in front. That stopped. Still free in front of the goal. Chipped ahead by the Leafs. Pushed out at center by Lorenz. Nylander racing after it. Missed the net. 1 second left. He's not going to get a try. He does shoot it into the empty net, but time had run out. Willie has 5 empty net goals this year. Almost had a 6th. Tavares has 4. Matthews, Lorenz, Nyes, Holmberg, Marner have 1.
The Leafs keep the streak going. 3 wins in a row. We've said that makes it perfect. The last 12 games, 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 wins.
3 losses, 3 wins.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. 3 stars. Yep, let's get to that. Brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Get home ice advantage on every drive with the new Civic Hybrid. Proudly made in Ontario. Available now at your Ontario Honda dealers.
Probably doesn't get enough love based on his offensive output, based on his ice time. And Bobby McMahon has now scored in 3 straight games. Ice time tonight, Joe, 12:37.
Wow.
Other games, 11:23, 13:38. So he doesn't get a lot of power play time, part of the second unit. He's star number 3. Philip Myers, first goal as a Toronto Maple Leaf. Turns out to be a big one for the Leafs to get them on the board and open things up for them offensively. He's star number 2. Easy to say, star number 1, Anthony Stolarz returns. Stops 27 out of 28 shots. And
workmanlike.
You know what? Yeah, and
not spectacular.
And we said this. You brought it up during one of the commercial breaks. Imagine having both those guys back, healthy, and ready to go, getting ready for the spring. I mean, it would be an absolute luxury. The Bruins had that with Ullmark and Swayman. Yeah. Wouldn't it be great if the Leafs could do the same? Keep them both healthy and sharp.
It's going to be interesting to see how the coaching staff dishes out ice time. Do you run with one guy for a while to see he's carrying it, or do you get into that rotation that we've talked about, that you talked about with the Bruins had with those two? And I don't see why you don't rotate them. They're going to be fresh. They're going to be anxious to equal what the last performance was. I think this is a real luxury that the Leafs can enjoy.
Yeah, and like we said, number one thing, health.
Yes.
And it's great that they both played long stretches with the other guy hurt to show that if you get into the postseason and you need one guy to run with it, he can.
All right, let's turn it over to Ailish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert, and we're getting out of here. We'll see you on Saturday when we have a regularly scheduled game at 7 o'clock against the Canucks in Vancouver. We'll have it here on The Fan. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
What's up? It's your boy Pharrell from Sports Grid Radio. We're taking our show on the road to the Big Easy, baby. I'm live all week from 3 to 6 in the East from Radio Row in New Orleans, getting you ready for the Super Bowl. I'll be talking to legends, Hall of Famers, and anyone who's anyone. And it's not just me. The whole Sports Grid crew's coming with me. We're covering the lines, the odds, and the prop bets all week long. It's all on Sports Grid Radio. Channel 159 in your car and whenever you want on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
Playing.
What's up, insiders? The Leafs win. The Buds get it done. 3 games in a row now on the West Coast trip. Absolutely beautiful. Wow, it's late. 11:49 Central. Congratulations to a lot of you who are still watching here in the chat that have already passed into February 7th. I am still on February 6th, and we are 4 subscribers away from 81,700 for the second time. Leafs get it done. Willie Nylander tries to ice it there at the end. Doesn't get the goal, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm not that concerned about it. I don't think Willie is concerned about it either. There you go. Carmen in the chat. Veronica, Norman, Paul, Johan, Yotun. Beautiful. Lots of fun in the chat tonight. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Stefan, Pike. We got Kevin O'Connor, M.L. Young, Doug Ryder. And lots of new faces in there as well tonight. Mr. Brennan, great to see you, Mr. Brennan. Cheers. And as well, tonight, there you go. Carmen says, TSI Mike, TSI Allison, thank you both so much for your channel. Thank you for hanging out with us, Carmen. Thank you for moderating. Thank you for really just finding us and hanging out with us. And I just want to give a huge, huge thank you to every single insider, every single person who has hung out with us from the time we started on this channel for me doing play-by-play back in 2021, January of 2021, 4 years ago. Cheers. Whether you're a member, whether you are a subscriber, whether you just clicked a view, whether you hit the like button, whether you came to watch a football game and you didn't come back, it is what it is. I am appreciative of every single one of you for hanging out with us and helping me follow my dreams to create this amazing community, hanging out with all of you. Now, with that being said, there's two more important things I have to say before I let the post-game run. As always, I will let the post-game go till the end, till my buddy Frank Trachtenberg gets on. Then I'm going to send you over to my live stream from earlier tonight on my soccer channel, Sons of a Pitch, Soccer Central. The Manchester United episode, True Killer, on Discord. SOP True on TikTok. Lots of good gameplay and hanging out with Mike. You learn a lot about me watching that episode. I will send you all directly after postgame is done. Last but not least, make sure you have seen that pinned chat. Go check out Leafs Jelly HD. In fact, I just got a notification here. It might be there it is. Full highlights. Leaf Jelly HD. It is official. Boom. There it is. Leafs Jelly HD in the house. Make sure you go subscribe right now. It's 17,800 subscribers. Jelly is going to be catching us in no time. I have no doubt about it. The Leafs community over there, he's getting 70 to 80 to 90, 100,000 views a game. And the highlights are already up. Game's over. I haven't even switched to the post game yet, and the highlights are up. Putting the link in the chat right now. Go over and leave a comment on Jelly's highlights of the game tonight. Thank you, insiders. Cheers and good night. Go Leafs, go. Let's go for the West Coast trip. Sweep against the Canucks before the Four Nations Cup, which, reminder, we're going to be live every single game of the Four Nations Cup right here on TSI. Good night, everybody.
Of the entire Leaf season, no?
I think the collective sound you heard around midnight or maybe around 11:55 was the clicks of millions of television sets around the country going into that third period where the Leafs are up 3-0, they're cruising along, the goalie looks good, and they just are obviously going to win that game. That is one where all three of us, if we didn't have this job, would not have watched the third period. I can promise you that. But, it got a little bit hairier than I thought it had to there for a moment. They score. They had a couple chances. But, yeah, ultimately the Leafs beat a really crappy Squids team.
Yeah.
They suck.
They're brutal.
They're really
How are they this bad?
It's too bad because I
they
think
went out
that's
spending in the
the
summer.
expectations were kind of like tainted a bit by Vegas coming in and being such a great expansion team, and then Seattle had
got in by Domi. Back on the boards, Morgan Riley got it back to the blue line, kept in by Domi into the slot. Back to Riley on the far half board.
It's just it's like all third liners. It's a bunch of third liners and
Kraken, and the Leafs on a great road trip so far.
Did you notice his
although
fake
all of the
penalty?
victories have been in the province of Alberta. This lineup tonight might be the lineup that everyone would wish for to start the Stanley Cup playoffs if, in fact, nothing happens at the trade deadline. They are about as healthy as they have been all season long.
Towards the end of the third period, Mitch Marner
was blocked before it reached the net. It comes back to the point. Larson the drive, and that was off the mark wide as it may have hit the goalpost.
The high stick.
Tavares can't get it out. It comes back to the point, winding up with it. Montour, that stopped the scramble in front, and it's knocked into the corner, and a penalty coming here. To the Maple Leafs, it looks like it's a hook.
The high stick goal.
McCann couldn't come up with it. Holmberg is hooked to the ice.
I think
Tavares getting it back. Nylander, left wing side Matthews. Here comes the shot. Oh, and they had Decourt swimming out there. And that was deflected just wide. Matthews again, shooting.
Anthony Stolarz hadn't played
goes D to D, gets it back again. Left it off for Domi. Closing in, Domi with a shot. That's why he gets a rebound. And that might have gone off.
Definitely taking his time. I think he targeted a great game. Obviously,
knock it off on the wing, and it comes to Nylander. His shot was off his stick and went wide. Turns to the far side. Marner able to keep it in for Tavares. Tavares banking it back to the blue line.
I think they picked a perfect time for him to come into play, and I think that's the most promising thing from this entire night is how great he looked. He made some huge saves, especially early in the first one. They kind of like gave it to him the most, and in the third period. So I think you should feel really comforted that he came out red hot
Philip Myers has got his first goal of the season.
Yeah, I'm really surprised at how good.
Talk about coming from an unlikely source.
Expect some
Leafs can't get to it, and it'll be Tolvanen playing it high into the neutral zone to get back, and there might be a penalty here for interference.
It was just
it was at the New Jersey game, the one when he stood on his head, the one before he got hurt.
Warm-up.
Here's a giveaway. Marner's got a cyclanes and a goal. Shot over the top of the goal.
Like 30 minutes in.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Holmberg scored that weird short-handed goal in that game, and Nashville scored in overtime, and they won that game. And there's a lot of talk.
They try it again, and it almost does the same thing, but it goes back to the net. The Leafs get there, looking in front of the net. Backhand by Holmberg is stopped by Decourt. Cannon's brother, of course, is a member of the Seattle Kraken. Back at the point of drive. Blocker save. Rebound stopped again by
the way that Anthony Stolarz comes back from injury tonight. Look, granted, I think there was probably 3 or 4 flurries throughout this game where he actually had to be really good. The rest of it was pretty
pedestrian. He had to stretch.
Like you said, the start of the game, I thought he was really good.
Post to take it away from Stevens and keep this a 1-0 lead.
His size helped there. No question. Plainly goes back into the
if you look at
Kraken zone. Dunn played it around the boards. It comes up onto the near side. Pass intercepted there. Nicely done by Lorenz. Made a nice move there.
Has been
rolling on the ice towards the net. Somebody threw something on the ice.
This is a reason to have a little bit of hope about a potential run for the Leafs. No, am I getting
before that whistle went? I don't know if they've got penalties coming up or not.
And it looks like Stevenson is going to the box. Good eye, Mr. Ralph. Good eye.
Nylander circles. Except the one year where Vasilevsky couldn't stop a beach ball and Samsonov was better than him. I just, looking at these two guys, it actually makes me feel excited about a potential playoff run here. Like, these two guys have been excellent. Stolarz was so good tonight.
Yeah, he was, and he looked exactly as he did previously, and that's the best part of it. Like, there was no ramp up process, there was no discomfort looking motion. Like, it was just Anthony Stolarz that we remembered from 2 months ago. But I guess the problem with the excitement is it's kind of like the Team USA thing. Like, you got 3 great goaltenders, but you're only going to use one when it matters the most. And maybe they go with some sort of rotation. I mean, every playoff we've seen 2 goaltenders for the Maple Leafs out of necessity, and sometimes when things are just so bleak that it doesn't even matter anymore. But it can be to their benefit. But can you go into a playoff series and expect to use both when the times are rolling, right? Yeah. Like, every single time we've seen more than one, it's because it's been out of desperation.
And you think about last year, even against the Leafs in the first round with the Bruins, where, they've been alternating Ullmark and Swayman all year. And then Swayman
they made the wrong choice.
He stands on his absolute head in the first game, and then they go to the second game, and Ullmark immediately loses, and then Swayman starts the rest of the games, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know how they'd handle it. You look at all these teams that have had runs throughout the playoffs, outside of the Panthers who won last year. I think Bobrovsky, did he start all the games in the playoffs? I don't think Stolarz got in for a start in any of those. But
no, I don't think so.
Even you look at what Edmonton did last year. They had to kind of reset and go to Pickard. You think of what Holtby when he kind of struggled. They went to Grubauer in that run. Like, Scott Darling and Corey Crawford. Like, the list goes on of this stuff. But I guess the difference is in those situations, that's one is more of a defined starter as opposed to like 1A and 1B. So it will be really interesting to see how they handle this. But I just, it doesn't feel like it really matters. Like, I guess you worry about their feelings and their teammates and all that stuff. But like, it just feels like whoever's going to be in the net, if they're both healthy, which, is also a question mark that we could get into, but it just feels like you're going to get a really good goaltending effort, and you saw it tonight. So just a really positive development, especially before the Four Nations. He can go into this 2-week break feeling good about himself. Woll will get the net on Saturday night. You come back for a stretch run after the break here, and away you go. So awesome stuff from Stolarz.
Yeah, we'll wrap up the goalies and move on. Yeah. But the one thing I want to say is I'm encouraged by it because I think it'll be a friendly competition between these two down the stretch, and we might be waiting to kind of see who takes the step forward. And I'm not too worried about their feelings because they're both not.
They seem to have the right demeanors.
But they're also not starters. Like, they're both backups. And, like, they're kind of just, this is newfound territory for both of them to be the guy, right? Like, Stolarz was never the guy, and Woll has never been the guy. So it's not like you're saying, hey, Bobrovsky.
Yeah, no one's making 10 sheets.
Yeah, you're on the back burner. It's kind of like, hey, we work in tandem, and this stretch of hockey moving forward will be who's going to be better. So I think it could be a healthy competition. That's my glamorized perspective of it.
I like it. I like it. You know, I really do. I think that's a great perspective. And listen, I think Woll has shown that he has the ability to play like you mentioned him being a backup, and he was a backup to Samsonov. He was a backup to whoever else they had in there. But since Stolarz got hurt, he did like the starter's workload, right? I think since Stolarz got hurt, he had the second most starts in the league next to Connor Hellebuck. Like, he did the thing. So he kind of proved himself a little bit there with his ability to stay healthy and whatnot. And I think he nudged himself ahead. But then you see Stolarz go back in there tonight, and you're like, God, you forget he was the best goalie in the league.
You know,
he was the best goalie in the league before he got hurt. And like him and Hellebuck were 1-2, and it's crazy. Anyways, it's rare for the Leafs to have that.
I agree. Good problem to have. Talk tonight.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. What else? I want to talk about Bobby McMann because I just think he's been a legit scoring threat for the Leafs as of late. We know that, but that's his third straight goal in a game. He's got 17 this season, and Justin and I were talking about it on the intermissions here. Just like $1.35 million for that it's pretty awesome. He's really become a guy that I know it's not really secondary scoring in a sense, but that's the problem with the Leafs in the playoffs, right? It's going to be the guys, the top core four, whatever scoring. So if Bobby McMann can be a guy you can count on in the playoffs, it'd be great to see him in it. I just really love the value they found on him. He impresses me every game, and it's been a great stretch for him.
I totally agree. Like I've been so blown away by how good he's been, and just feels like the confidence that he's playing with now. And I don't know if it was who we talked to in the intermission in the Calgary game. Maybe it was Mark Masters, but he was just like, for a whole part of my career here, I've just been like trying to prove that I like belong. And now like he's compensated, maybe not well enough, and he maybe have some conversations with his agents, with his buddies over some beers. They'd be like, "Wow, why did my agent tell me to take that contract?" Anyways, I just he's got some confidence, he's got some belief that all the guys, like, it's amazing what that can do for you. And the guy rips it. Like, it's just anytime that he has a chance, and tonight he gets to the middle of the ice and he gets a good tip on it right between the hash marks. And I really like him as an sort of, the quote unquote X factor in a playoff series. And I've talked about it before, but last year in the playoffs, he wasn't there. He disappeared. And that was part of it, that like they really did miss his sort of sneaky little bit of production that he gives them. But I will say about tonight, I don't think I loved that hockey line a whole lot of him, Nick Robertson, and Pontus Holmberg. And for me, Bobby McMann has proven enough where I know they're trying to go, and maybe we can get into this a little bit after here. They're trying to go nuclear with the Marner, Tavares, Nylander line, and they're trying to keep Matthews and Nyes and Domi together or whatever. But I think Bobby McMann has shown me enough where until you improve your bottom six and get another center or get another winger in there, I want Bobby McMann in the top six. Like, he's been good enough. I want him up there. And even for me, you could even try him, on his offside, play him with Nyes and Matthews. Just see what he can do up there. Like, he's proven to me that he isn't secondary scoring anymore. He is a crucial part of this team's production. And I think he gets lost a little bit when you're playing him with Holmberg and Nick Robertson. I think he's more valuable than that at this point.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I think it's painfully obvious what the team needs. I mean, everyone knows.
Painfully.
It's that center who can connect Nylander and McMann, giving you three full lines. It just feels like that's exactly what they need, and it just may not be out there, may not be available. Maybe the price is exorbitant, and you can't get to the point where you want to meet it. but it would be really nice just to see everything come together, even for just a moment. Like, can you get a trial run on a center and see if you want to pay the Easton Cowan price? I guess you can't, but I would love to see it because McMahon is proving that he can be, a building block, something to build around, to pair with a William Nylander, to pair with another really important player. And then all of a sudden you go from a 2-line team to the 3-line team because you found a guy in Bobby McMahon. Let's touch on that nuclear line. We were calling it nuclear B because it can't be A without Austin Matthews.
We're kind of losing our minds over here, Sam. It's 1 in the morning.
And it's blue. It's Leaf Talk Blue here. We're going after dark.
Yeah. It's we may not see it again. The plan B because not a shot through 40 minutes combined between Marner, Nylander, and Tavares at even strength. It was a pretty rough night, frankly, for the top six. Like they didn't get much going at 5-on-5. The best stuff came on the power play, and the power play continues to roll, which is a great thing. But it didn't work for the top line. Didn't notice Domi. Second line was brutal. Like they just didn't. All that money out on the ice, and you got very little impact against a bunch of third liners, as you mentioned. Did you see anything in Nuclear B that got you excited?
Well, I heard Berube talking before the game, and he was like, I'm a little concerned about them getting to the middle of the ice. And it's like, yeah, guess what happened? He's like, we can't have them be on the perimeter. We can't. It's like he was pissed off about it. Like he knew what was about to happen. And it did. Like what was very perimeter oriented. It looked like 3 guys that never play together, right? Like there was no chemistry. It felt like they were kind of tripping over each other at times out there. Like Willie picking up the puck off where Matt or Marner would usually be, or vice versa. I didn't find it to be a good chemistry. And when you have those 3 guys on a line and you look at the bottom half of your lineup, you're like, why are you doing this? Like you can do it where these other guys, like you have enough good players to spread it out over 3 lines and just try it. Just try it for a little bit. And they're so hesitant. I guess maybe they're worried about the ice times and spreading it out enough. And if you're hating it and it's in a close game, you can change it up at the end of the game. Like you're allowed to switch up lines throughout the game. It just seems like having those 3 guys to me is such a waste of resources when you look at the rest of the bottom 6. No, like it's just, you can mix. I don't know. Like, I guess they're hesitant to put Willie on a quote unquote third line or Marner on a quote unquote third line.
Willie was basically playing on a third line for the last 2 months. He's playing with Holmberg and whoever was available. So for me, looking at this, before the game, we were doing our pregame show, and I'm starting to think, well, it's good to try new things, because in the playoffs, if there's something stagnant, you can go back to a line that had some pump, it had a jump. And tonight, I would not be going back to this, but we used to criticize Sheldon Keefe so much for the blender, and I'm like, get a little magic bullet in there, just a baby bullet, you can do a little blending. But I think the problem for me when I look at why tonight didn't click for me is I think it can work. Is they're really trying to give Domi an opportunity to get going right on that top line. That really come on, Domi, you got to get going.
It can't come though at the expense of others.
That's it. So it came at the expense tonight.
It's just a general rule. They cannot put Domi in that position.
Well, that's where the issue is for me.
And make an example of anyone else in order to do that. At least it seems.
So you're putting him up on that's it. The elephant in the room. We're trying to fit something where it doesn't belong right now. And I don't know how you do it, but
if you don't do that, he's playing on a third line that doesn't work
and making a lot of money. That's
the Domi contract is definitely an elephant in the room that I think everybody was pretty excited about it. I don't know. I won't speak for you guys, but I was excited about it. When they signed him, I thought he was really good towards the end of the year, playing with Matthews and Bertuzzi, correct? Those are the 3 guys they went into the playoffs with on the line. And I thought he looked excellent. I liked the passion factor, the last name, all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But it's pretty clear to me here that I don't know if the head coach loves his contributions. What did he end up playing tonight? Starting, quote unquote, on the top line. I'm just looking at his ice time here. What did he end up with? He ended up with 13:28 tonight, playing on the quote unquote first line. So it's just, I don't know what the fit is. And you've tried it here now. This better work here in a hurry, because if this doesn't work, then what?
It's giving RJ Barrett.
It's kind of starting to feel like we're, RJ, but I don't watch enough Raptors too. I don't watch enough Raptors
discussion
to understand
today
that reference.
about there might be the
RJ might be a little flimsy, the ground with which he walks all of a sudden with Brendan
But
Ingram.
he also came home and it was a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
And we romanticize it.
And we
That's
romanticize it. That's why it's giving RJ Barrett.
We romanticize Domi.
Sorry to get NBA trade deadline in here.
We want desperately for it to work, but it feels like we're wishing it rather than like, being rational about it, right? Like, ultimately, they do need the additions. They need the guys who knock the guys down rungs on the ladder. And if Bobby McMahon is playing with a good center and William Nylander and Max Domi's on a fourth line doing fourth line things, you're making too much money. But that's the optimized version of this roster until he proves he can do something else. And maybe he can find some chemistry with Austin Matthews. But if it begins, even for a second in big moments, to take from Austin Matthews, then it's not worth it because you need 34 to actually score goals when it matters this time around, or everything else is worthless.
Yeah, it just sucks what it's gotten to here. And he did end up with an assist tonight on the McMahon goal on the power play, but it just I actually do think that there's a world where, maybe not game 1, maybe not game 2 of the playoffs, maybe not game 3, but however far they get, that there's a chance that Domi sits in a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
I really, if he's not going to be playing in the top 6, and you know what Craig Berube wants in the bottom half of the lineup, and then what he kind of expects from he's too perimeter. Words are hard at 1:10 a.m.
Seriously.
Like, it's just
good for you for trying it.
I feel awful crapping on the guy, but it's just been an awful year. It just has been. And it's just, it feels weird to fit. I don't know really where it goes. So we'll see. He better get hot playing with Matthews, because it feels like that experiment isn't going to last that long, especially with him playing 13-28 tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Let's 110 rapid fire. What are some things that you want to get off on your show? Leafs Talk.
I'm looking on my show. Yeah, my show here. Philip Myers. Philip Myers Island. I don't know if you're.
I saw your tweet.
Show,
yeah, we listen all the time, man.
I made a stupid joke, or not even a stupid joke, that I was buying a little bit of Philip Myers stock because he had a couple games. Yeah, it's been in a bad spot for a little while here.
He
but
scored a goal though.
It had a momentary uptick. I got really excited, and then he immediately took an awful penalty. I was like, crap. Stock down again.
Hop to a coin.
Philippe Myers led the Maple.
He's a meme coin for sure.
Myers led the Leafs in 5-on-5 shots tonight. So maybe it's a good time to sell it.
Yeah.
Sell high.
I got to tell you, that's what I was going to say. Like, I would kill for the confidence of Phil Myers.
Yeah.
This guy just hammers it. Anytime it comes near him, all he wants to do is hit the puck as hard as he can.
Mm-hmm.
And he just shoots it. Finally, I think they said that he had 26 shots in 21 games this year, or maybe the opposite way, maybe 21 shots in 26 games. Like, he hammers the puck all the time. And he almost had another one tonight where he walked down the slot and had a good shot. I was like, oh my God, Phil Myers. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my
stock.
My stock that I don't think is looking too hot.
Bring on the investors.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Matthew Nyes, the high stick. What did you guys think?
Well, we're watching the broadcast feed here at the studio, and we only saw the broadcast feed from above, bird's eye view. We made a joke
that's a great angle.
Honestly, we're like, what's going on here? Climate Pledge Arena. Justin's joke was like, oh, they care about the climate so much. There's only one camera, and so we only ever saw.
That wasn't quite the joke, but that's a pretty good one too.
You know what? It's almost 2 a.m. I can't make jokes properly anymore.
No,
so long story short, we only saw the above angle, and so the only thing I had to go off was that Matthew Nyes didn't sell it very well. Sammy, you something goes off and you think you just got to sell it. You give a good fist bump. I scored that. I'm going through the line, but he looked like he was sheepish. So that's the only thing we had to go off of.
Telling the guys to go in front of him in the line was crazy.
You go
crazy.
him
I've
first.
never seen him more guilty.
He looks so guilty, but they got the goal.
Do you think they don't
crazy.
have cameras?
It was
Do they
crazy.
think they don't have cameras? I don't understand what they were. But so I watched it 100 times, and the behind the net angle was seemingly the only one.
I would have loved that angle.
But even that one, it's not online with the post.
No, it's impossible.
Above, right?
We saw that.
Nobody has any idea.
You can't tell on that.
But it's just all came down to the call on the ice, obviously, and they didn't see enough. But the visual of it, it's just really looks like, because he starts and I'm doing the motion in my office, like anyone can see what the hell I'm doing. But he's just
pitch black,
no tarp, and he's just like he slashes down on it, and the visual of it looks like such a high stick.
No, it looked like he hit the roof.
But I can't really like where he makes contact. No one seemed to be able to decipher it. And the two bozos get over there and have a 6-minute meeting about who, like, did you see it? Did you see it?
Whatever.
The three blind mice. Can we make a decision here? Like these reviews, man, they
especially
kill me.
at this hour.
No, not even that. Like I was watching the Flames game the other night with the Leafs. It's like the first period. It's like, why does this have to take 7 minutes? I've always longed for, if you're going to have review, you get 2 full speed looks at it. And you can, if you can differentiate from that, then you can you can do it. It just feels so crazy in a league that's starved for goals and starved for like offense that you're going to let these two guys sit there on a little iPad and talk about it for 6 minutes and try to convince himself it's not a goal. Like, it's a goal or it's not a goal. It drives me crazy. Oh, my God. Anyways, it ends up being a goal, and it's an important one for them because it would have been a much hairier third period if that one doesn't count. But, God, I hate to be, Kipper here, but that Nye's contract, it just keeps going up and up. He's been unbelievable. Like, he's been hurt a little bit here and there, banged up. But God, he is so crucially important to this team, and his agent just has to see dollar signs in his eyes every time this guy plays. He's like driving that line at times. He's been excellent.
You confident enough in 8 years, just get it done, and
yeah, I think you have to.
Like, if you play the bridge game point, and all of a sudden you're coming up again at the exact worst time, and the Maple Leafs have made a habit of signing contracts at the very worst time. This isn't a great time either, but. I think
you got to plug your nose. I think.
I feel pretty confident.
The cap dollar going up, it's going to be a dicey one.
I think you should feel confident that this guy, he's going to be a sizable part of this team for the next 5 to 10 years. I think that's going to be pretty well. I think it's firmed up now. I hope they get something done that's at least you could go pretty long and try to keep it manageable, because it could go completely out of whack in 2 or 3 years. I didn't think he was very good tonight, though. I think you got to help Domi out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think that line had anything. Like, Domi didn't have anything.
Nobody really had much.
But, like...
I just, he's generally, like, he's been pretty good. He played 18-40 tonight. I think he played 22 or 23 against the Flames. A lot more penalty kill in that game. I love the kid, and he's like a true power forward. A beefcake, real thick neck on him, just goes to the front of the net, tips pucks, just looking like Kipper's son out there. He's just a mutant. I'm really impressed with him. So I hope they can figure out a way to sign him. And, I hope that not every Toronto reporter is like, the offer sheet.
No, don't
the offer
even
sheet,
say that. That.
If you played in San Jose, it would never even be a conversation. He would just sign his contract. But here it's like, we got to have a full thing about it. Last thing I'll bring up, woefully. What's the word I'm looking for? Mercifully. So we can all go to bed. Simone Benoit tonight, hot mess. Like that shift where he's out there. How long was that shift? He was out there for 3 minutes.
At least 250. Like it was.
And he goes in there, and then was it Bjorkstrand that he fought?
Yes.
Who was it that he fought?
Bjorkstrand. Yeah.
Who's not like.
I thought he was going to kill him.
He's not exactly Tony Twist.
No,
he's a bit. He's like a sniper guy. And Benoit just way too tired to fight.
He was just holding on for dear life.
And then he goes over the bench, over the penalty box. He's sitting in there. He can barely make it to the penalty box. And then he's skating across the other way, blood running down his nose. I'm like, Jesus, man, you're a hot mess. But I guess maybe nobody was very good tonight, but I didn't think he was very good tonight either. So maybe he needed that little bit of rest. He wanted to scrap a bit, pretend to fight the
Armin says
the
that he's got 36 pounds on Bjorkstrand and 4 inches.
36 pounds.
And 4 inches.
Yeah, that should have been that should have been for the highlight reel for Benoit if he had 2 fewer minutes of ice time. Just long.
Tee off. Yeah. Absolutely. What did you say?
Last one. Is that a top 5 most pissed Matthews has ever been after taking that late penalty?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other times that he's even been pissed. I guess when he's cross-checked Darlene in the mouth, that time he was pissed about that.
I can't think of too many more.
When he fought Stamkos in what was the only fight between two guys that have scored 60 goals, and it looked like it. It was a bit of a slap fest. Little Alex Semin action going on there. Yeah. I'm trying to think other times that he's really been mad. Actually, when I don't know what year it would have been, but I was actually at the game with my nephew. But when he scored and they took it off the board against Colorado.
And then he did the goal selling.
Yeah. But when they flashed to him on the bench after they disallowed it, he had like the most like sassy, pissed off look on his face.
And that is when he scored after and did the goal line selling. Oh, I loved that.
And then he did, and they pointed, and I think he was pissed off about that. But I got to tell you, I loved seeing him pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that's allowed? Like, that's allowed for your captain to be mad at somebody or be like in the ref's face or like making just whining a bit. I have to listen to Connor McDavid whine about everything all year. It'd be nice to hear Matthews whine about one thing ever.
Except for the crowd noise. Don't ask him to whine about that because he will.
Well, I loved that though.
That's on the list. That's number 5.
Oh, that's
right.
Him mad at the fans.
Definitely.
Yeah, those are the only times.
Yeah, so
maybe he's turning over a new leaf, 2025.
And now is that 6 straight games without a goal for him now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been a while without a goal for him. So maybe that's
why. It's okay. Vancouver on Saturday night. That will be a fun one.
He's saving them all for Saturday night in Montreal against Canada.
That's
what
up.
he's saving them for.
Okay, Sam. Anything else, folks? On that note, folks, I think we will wrap this up. We will be back on the air on Saturday night versus the Canucks, which will be a fun one. I believe JD will be available for that one. Okay.
My favorite night of the year where the Canucks fans.
The Stanley Cup.
You think 5 p.m. is bad. They got to go 4 p.m. for that start time.
Be very whiny.
And I've actually gone to that game before in Vancouver, Leafs Vancouver. And first of all, I was wearing a Leafs hat, Leafs jacket, Leafs jersey at that time. And never had worse vitriol at me in any sporting event I've ever been to.
Yep.
And secondly, I gotta tell you, 4 p.m. is an excellent time for a hockey.
Hey, you still go out after?
Like we went at
dinner, then go out. It's perfect.
Yes, it was our good friend, our good mutual friend Dan Riccio.
Oh yeah,
we went out for beers before the game. Went to the game. Went for a lovely dinner. Went to like a party with a bunch of people. Then went out and all in one night. It was incredible.
Good stamina on the boy.
You got a motor on you.
Well, listen, I was a much younger man.
Yeah,
then.
you could house some of those.
Yeah, I can still toss them back. Just the results the next day aren't great. Let's just say that. Anyways,
it's gonna feel like how you feel when you wake up this morning because it's 1:20.
I get to sleep in.
That's true. Well, everybody,
at 10:30.
That's true. Everybody, I'm going to do the JD Bunkus. Subscribe to this podcast. Leave 5 stars. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkus, at Sam A. McKee, at Ailish Forfar, at Justin. Got the nose, JC Cuthbert, right?
At Justin.
You've never done that before.
Is that his handle? At Justin.
At Justin Cuthbert.
Like Max Domi on Instagram, at Max.
No, you're JC Cuthbert. There you go. I nailed it.
This is fun, guys.
You should do that
This was fun. We're not doing it again, though. JD, he can,
I enjoyed this.
Okay,
it's a nice change of pace.
I know, but don't make it a habit. Every time there's a late game,
his producer's here grinding, and he's not
That's
here
the other thing. Armin is here. Yeah. Armin works on JD's show. He's producing.
Just needs his little nightcap on right now. He's putting on his anti-aging creams. Yeah. He's lying in bed thinking about.
Do you think he does the mouth tape? Have you heard of mouth taping?
Oh, he definitely
mouth tapes it. Because he 100% mouth tapes.
My wife tried the old mouth tape thing,
work?
and I was like, I don't know. It just was really
it's so
unsettling.
Murdery. I hate it.
It's unsettling. Can we not do this?
We gotta ask JD. We'll find out if JD ever listens to this podcast if he denies that he mouth taped.
0 shot.
It's a very specific thing. Yeah.
Nobody tell him about mouth taping. We'll just see if he ever brings it up. Okay. All right.
I love you guys.
Let's get home. All right. Thanks, Sam. Thanks to everybody. They will hear you. You will hear them on Saturday night.
And us.
And us on Saturday before the game. Anyway, thanks to everyone. Have a good night.
At last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound